Brazil, I believe. Yes, it will be played in Brazil. It will be played in Brazil in 2027. So that's a very important game for the Black Queens. So in terms of those who have been called up by the Black Queens, okay, let me give you the full squad. Coach Kimlas Bjorgren has named a team, or he's put together a squad for the women's AFCON. So Cynthia Findib, Susan Amedia, Grace Asante, Jennifer Kujo, Princess Dankwa Mafo, Chantel Boy-Hloka, Doris Boedua, Princella Edubia, Alice Kusi, Anastasia Echan, Evelyn Bedu, Stella Nyameche, Comfort Yeboa, Kerry McCarthy, Portia Boachi, Nancy Amu, Afi Amenyeku, Josephine Bonsu, Ernestina Bambela, Sharon Sampson, Nina Noshi, Louisa Eniwa, Helen Alomenu, and Mary Amponsa. So to give you some context to this team, a lot of the players who are in there were in the last WAFCON in Morocco. So a lot of them are making a return. Sharon Sampson and Helen Alomenu are two new players. They played for the Black Princesses previously, and they are in the team. Now for Sampson, she plays her football in Sweden for Piteå, and she returns to the national team after last playing with the Princesses at the 2023 Under-20 World Cup in Costa Rica. Okay, while Helen Alomenu has been a key part of her university team, Texas State University, and she's getting into the Black Queens for the very first time. So let me run the squad by you again. Cynthia Findib, Susan Amedia, Grace Asante, Jennifer Kujo. So Jennifer Kujo is in the squad. Princess Dankwa Mafo, Chantel Boy-Hloka, Doris Boedua, Princella Edubia, Alice Kusi, Anastasia Chan, Evelyn Bedu, Stella Nyameche, Comfort Yeboa, Kerry McCarthy, Portia Boache, Nancy Amu, Afia Menyeku, Josephine A.K. Bonsu, Ernestina Bambela, Sharon Sampson, Nina Noshi, Louisa Eniwa, Helen Alomenu, and Miriam Ponsa. Now, the first leg of that game involving the Black Queens and Egypt will happen on the 23rd of October, which is next Thursday, and then the return leg will be on the 28th. So that's the lowdown on the Black Queen side of things. Asante Kotoko themselves are in action. Asante Kotoko will be playing this Sunday against Wydad Athletic Club. A little later, we'll have a chat from some members of the Kotoko team. We'll talk about that game on Sunday, the importance of it. We'll talk about arrangements, modalities, all of those things. So if you are interested, you can send me a comment 054-257-1061. If you're an Asante Kotoko supporter, you can send me a message 054-257-1061. 054-257-1061. What are your predictions? What are you expecting from Asante Kotoko this weekend in the CAF Comfort Cup? I'll be running the full fixture list in terms of the CAF Champions League and the Comfort Cup for you, because there are qualifying bits. Time check is 7:30. Let me give you a few announcements. Now, today and tomorrow, the mobile money cashless market is hitting Shatterfest this weekend at the Independence Square. Okay, now join us for a shopping and musical experience from your favorite vendors and artists today. Today is the 17th of October. Today and tomorrow, the 18th of October, at the 2025 at the Independence Square. Now come and experience the Momo cashless market with over 70 top tier vendors in Accra. You also get to enjoy up to 20% discounts on goods and services on sale. Win up to 10,000 CDs in the Momo Kotoko game show. You get some education and awareness on Momo fraud, and you get amazing performances from your favorite artists, including the Shatta Movement King and Lord and Emperor, Shatta Wale, alongside other A-list artists. Yeah, Don Shatta. Shatta will be there. So come around and see Shatta Wale. So I need you to download the all-new Momo app, and you could win 10,000 CDs at the event. Yes, download the Momo app and win some money at the event. The side attractions include DJs on rotation, so which means you enjoy music, and more music, board and video games, kids zone, Momo giveaways, and so much more. The date is Friday the 17th and Saturday the 18th of March. Why am I saying 18th of March? We are in October. Wow. 18th of October, 2025. At the Independence Square, Charlie. Symptoms of a tired mind. Momo Fest is powered by Momo from MTN and proudly sponsored by MTN Business and IO Insurance and GCB Bank. MTN is also giving you the MTN Free After One Extra. What you are getting is that you get to talk for 1 whole hour, uninterrupted, while paying for only the first minute of every 10 minutes you talk. Which means for every 10 minutes you talk within the hour, you only pay for the first minute, and you get to talk for 60 minutes straight with no interruptions. You can also enjoy 100 MB of data for free after your first call on Saturday or Saturdays. So if you want to enjoy this, just dial star 550 hash. Star 550 hash and follow the prompts. In December, the AFCON will be happening in Morocco. You need to go and enjoy the AFCON. You need to be part. Ghana may not be there, but it doesn't mean you shouldn't be there. So this December, Dunia Safari and Sporty FM are bringing you closer to the games. Try something different. Go to Morocco and get to enjoy games involving Nigeria and Cote d'Ivoire. I need you to use the Sporty FM promo code SPORTYFAN25, SPORTYFAN25, SPORTY FAN25 when booking to unlock a special 20% discount for a minimum of 3 people. So use the Sporty FM promo code SPORTYFAN25 when booking to unlock a special 20% discount for a minimum of 3 people booking. Don't just hear it on Sporty FM. See the games live. See the AFCON live in Morocco. Go there and enjoy it. Limited spots available. Visit duniasafari.com or call 053-808-7709 or send an email travelduniasafari@gmail.com. Follow them on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok at Travel Dunia Safari. Don't forget to book using the Sporty FM promo code SPORTYFAN25, SPORTYFAN25. This is the Sporty Breakfast. Time check is 7:35. Your comments are coming through on 054-257-1061, 054-257-1061. What's on your mind this morning? In a sporting sense, what are you expecting this weekend? Liverpool hosts Man United. How many goals will Liverpool score? Can Man United survive at Anfield? In Germany, the biggest game of the German calendar is on, or at least in recent years. Bayern Munich versus Dortmund is happening on Saturday at 4:30 p.m. They call it the Klassiker. In Italy, you have AS Roma versus Inter, which is the biggest game by just sheer history and size. And then you have La Liga returning as well. So all of that and more. So let me know your expectations. Send me a comment, 054-257-1061. And if you're an Asante Kotoko fan, you can also send me your thoughts on this weekend's game. Asante Kotoko hosting Wydad Athletic Club of Casablanca. Call them WAC. Kotoko are facing them in the Comfort Cup qualifiers. How do you think it will play out? As I said, we'll be having some friends from Asante Kotoko who will be joining us in a bit to talk about the game, their expectations. So if you're an Asante Kotoko fan, do stay tuned. We have something lovely for you. Plus, this weekend is also the final of the Under-20 World Cup. Argentina taking on Morocco. Can Africa get a second winner of the Under-20 World Cup? We'll find out in due course. But this is still the Sporty Breakfast. My name is Nathan Kwara. We are live on 106.1 FM in Accra, broadcasting live from North Jolu on the Osubadu Avenue. All right, let me go through some of the stories that I... oh, man. That I read earlier on the Sporty News Review. I find some of them really interesting stories. I find some of the stories really interesting. So, for example, Dr. Randy Abbey, who's head of the Black Stars Management Committee, he says that Otuado's position hasn't changed. He's still head coach. That is true. Now, this story is on myjoyonline.com/sports, and Dr. Randy Abbey has reiterated the position as the position of Otuado as the national team head coach, and has praised him for doing well on the basis of data.
Sporty FM.
On the basis of data. Now, some people still have issues with Otuado, right? Some people do not think that he can lead the Black Stars to the World Cup. That's what some people think. But Dr. Randy Abbey seems to have a different opinion. Let me give you these quotes, right? He says, quote, on the basis of data, you cannot say that he has done a bad job. Otuado is the coach of the Black Stars, and that position has not changed. He told, end quote, he told Asempa FM. He went on to say, quote, any Ghanaian has the right to express their opinion and open a discussion about Otuado, which is very true. Otuado has a contract which has not ended. His employers have not said anything. He has just qualified for the World Cup. I think we should celebrate that and focus on how we will prepare our team, end quote. Meanwhile, the Black Stars are getting ready for their World Cup draw. Now, that draw will be held on the 5th of December in Washington. 5th of December in Washington. That is where we will know the group in which the Black Stars will sit in the next World Cup. Yesterday, I saw a tweet. Somebody said, oh, FIFA should give Ghana, Argentina, France, Spain. And I was just saying that clearly is not happening. Unless you cook that draw on your PS5. But that draw is not happening in real life. But what it is that Ghana will be getting one of the big teams, right? Ghana will be in pot 3, most likely. So if you are in pot 3, you get teams from pot 1, pot 2, and pot 4. So Ghana will get a top team. And then Ghana will get, a team that is, let me put it this way. Ghana will get an A-star team. They'll get an A team. And then they'll get, you can call it maybe a C team. I don't know. So that's what the draw will look like when it is done. So Ghana could get anybody. If you look at, let's say, the top 10 in the world, Ghana could be facing any of them. If you look at the FIFA ranking, Ghana could be facing any of them. If you take the top 10 footballing countries in the world, I don't know what the rankings will look like by next year, but it won't change much. So Ghana can take on any of Brazil, Spain, Argentina, France. Yeah, those type of countries. Portugal, England, probably. Those type of countries. Last 4 years, we took on Portugal. Now, if you remember Ghana's history all through the World Cup, we've always had big boys to play against. So in 2006, we took on Italy, who eventually won, the Czech Republic, and the USA. So if you notice, that's the kind of mix we get. In the 2010 World Cup, Ghana got Germany, Serbia, and Australia. Again, a similar picture for you. With Germany being the A-star team, Serbia at the time were really hot, and then you had Australia being like the C-grade team, if you like. 2014. The Black Stars got Germany, Portugal, and the USA. So again, a similar mix. So you had the Germans, you had Portugal, who were a team from pot 2, and then you had the USA. We all know how that story ended. And then in 2022, the Black Stars got Portugal, one of the hottest teams at the time. And then Ghana got South Korea, and then Ghana got Uruguay. So the permutations are there. The likelihood of Ghana bagging a team like the Netherlands, it's there. It's a possibility. So we'll see. 054-257-1061. 054-257-1061. There's a lot of talk around the Black Stars. Yesterday, our senior colleague Ibrahim Sanidara said that he had received an email from a certain player and all of that. I've seen the name Romeo Lavia in there. For example, Elam from Tema has sent a message. He says, I saw something somewhere, wanted to confirm. I heard Romeo Lavia had a Ghanaian father and so was eligible to play for Ghana. Well, that is true. Romeo Lavia, yes. I know he does have a Ghanaian parent. He did. I'll have to double check to be sure at which level he has competed for Belgium. Because they are mechanics. For example, assuming Romeo Lavia goes to play in an international competition, he can't come and play for Ghana. So if Romeo Lavia is being mentioned, then it means that he hasn't really, taken that one off or he hasn't gone past that Rubicon. Because if he's played for Belgium in a major competition, then it makes it impossible. Now, Nisowa from Teshin is also asking, which Ofori are you talking about? Richard Ofori retired from the Black Stars the day he touched the ball. Hey! Really? But Richard Ofori is here saying that he's dreaming of coming to play for the national team. Oh, I didn't hear it. Niso, I didn't hear Richard Ofori say that he was coming back. You listen to Richard Ofori again.
Every player's dream is to play World Cup. I'm still playing, so I'm working hard and then focusing on my team at the moment, which is that's what you need to do for you to be there, because you can't sit at the bench, or you can't sit and then just wake up and go. So I'm working hard in my team to help my team in the league, and then the rest will take over.
So that's Richard Ofori. He's saying that he's working hard. So I don't know. So I don't know this retirement thing that Nisoa is saying. That's why I asked the question. That will Ghanaians want to see Richard Ofori? Will Ghanaians want to see Richard Ofori? Will Ghanaians want to see Richard Ofori? So that, I mean, look, that's a question. It's one of the questions for the morning. Do Ghanaians want to see Richard Ofori back in the Black Stars? This morning I've asked a few questions, so those who are following, please answer them. Answer all questions for 50 marks. You know what? Those when you do your exam, the end of SEM or the end of term exam, whether at JSS or in my time we call it secondary school. These days they call it SHS or university, right? And then they say that answer all questions. Answer all questions, saying. The questions, they are 10. I can only answer about 3 or 4. How should I answer all of them? Or they say answer question 1 for 20 marks. Meanwhile, to question 1, you don't even know the answer. But it's 20 marks. You have to try and answer it. So the question for the morning, will Ghanaians want to see Richard Ofori? That's why I asked. Assuming Richard Ofori is in form for Amazulu, let's say between now and next May, Richard Ofori is the toast of South Africa, saving every shot. He doesn't concede goals. He's saving penalties, doing everything. Will you accept Richard Ofori into the national team? Or you think that he's gone past the point of salvation? Let me know. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think. Of course, the other question for the morning is, what are you expecting? What are you expecting in terms of this weekend's sports? The Ghana Premier League is back. There's football all over the continent in the CAF Champions League and CAF Comfort Cup. There's football in England, Spain, Italy, France, and Germany. What are you looking forward to the most? In England, the biggest game is happening at Anfield. It's Liverpool taking on Manchester United. The two rivals are clashing at Anfield. Last season, Man United got themselves a 2-2 draw there. All right, let's take some calls. I've been asking a few questions. It looks like some people have answers for me. So let me go to the phone line, 054-257-1061, 054-257-1061, 030-279-4805. This is the Sporty Breakfast. Let me take this caller. Hello?
Yes, Nathan, good morning.
Yes, good morning.
If you not pick this call, the way you go pay me, I catch office, so I won't call you before I enter.
Okay.
You see,
what's the name? Where are you calling from?
Oh, it's me, Patozi, Cantonment.
Okay, all right, please go ahead.
You see, Ghana, it's high time. Some of the things we've been doing to our goalkeepers, we should be very, very, very careful. I may not be that good. Back in the days, I'm told Ali Jara, he got it, he came back, and he didn't even get a spot again. So flashback to what we did to Samia J. Flashback now, look carefully. All these are local players, goalkeepers that they transition, they make a way into the national team. They out of nowhere, from somewhere, you see, let's be honest to ourselves. Back in the days, Kingston and Samia J issue, from Ali Dara, that's past history issue. Now look at Benjamin Asare. Meaning not that anybody is feeling difficult. What must the guy do? You see, the guy, he has the height.
But there's no problem with Benjamin Asare, is there?
Oh, but no. So what your man is saying now, sorry. And I'm also seeing some squad things, Usuga from Netherlands. Hey, I know I'm going to
how?
If I'm Asare, you never worry.
Oh, please, you don't have to be worried. For now, the Black Stars technical team has said that Benjamin Asare is Ghana's number 1. Until something changes, that is the situation. So we'll take it one day at a time. So you don't have to be worried at all. It is incumbent on Benjamin Asare to keep up the good work and to stay in form. That is all he must do.
Let's hope for the best. Because this is the season before.
And that's what I'm saying. He has to do. You see, the thing is that in his case, the reason why his case is slightly different, the technical team has openly stated that he is their number one choice for now. So he has to just do what he has to do. That is all.
Very good. Because Benjamin Asare, he will make a name for himself. He will make a name at the World Cup. And one thing I want Ghanaians to know is defense starts from the goalkeeper. How you arrange. Some people say, man, you have not been tried, you have not been tested. Defense starts from the goalkeeper. You have to talk to the defenders. You stop the ball right from the ball, even before the ball gets to the keeper. So when you watch the match carefully, I've watched a couple of Asare's match. The way he controls defenders, you see, he grows, he's mature. So you know how to communicate with the guy. It's not like any form of disrespect. But if you ask the keeper, you must shout, you must yell, hey, Charlie, watch here, what? You see, some keepers out of like, they feel like, oh, they can't even talk. A couple of them, but they don't communicate. So before the ball will come to him, he has already stopped the ball ahead before the ball really comes to him. So when people say he has not been tried and tested, they don't know what they are. Then they should come again. They should come again. Because you can't be in the post just like that. You stop the ball, sometimes even from the midfield, before it gets to the defense, before it comes to you, the keeper. And clearly we all can see how Benjamin controls defenders if it's in the post. No, Ofori, for now, he has done his best. We appreciate him. But coming back, Bawa, danger.
Okay.
I like Mr. Babu train and go catch that. Have a good day.
All right, take care then. This is the Sporty Breakfast. 054 257 1061. 054 257 1061. Give me a call. Okay, I think there are two calls coming. Let me take one on the other line. Hello.
One of his other first line.
Two people usually call this line. One is you, Michael.
This is my line. This is my personal
This is your personal line. No problem. No problem.
I know you're from Ray this morning.
No, Ray there around. Ray there. He bounced small, but he'll be back.
Okay.
Yes,
so you say right now, no, Richard Ofori not saying anything.
No, Richard Ofori says he wants to work hard and come back.
Work hard?
Yes.
You know something?
Oh, why are we doing this to Richard Ofori?
Tell my you relax at the camp. The day he signed exit, you know the day he signed exit. The day he catch that way, I swear you. That day,
hey, Ghana people
from the Black Stars, you know the one that. Then at the year the talk here, you go get form for South Africa. Not Rowan Williams, no Sundowns, no anything.
No, so that's why I said if it's a hypothetical question.
No, if Biano, we are serious. If Biano, master. If Biano, okay, person when a noye, what the year time out the Chinese, young come down and pressure. Yen pick the same beer, but Bayena. There's a bastard, and we say we are qualified for World Cup. No, be a started dancing to use not. Yen Pessao. You didn't like that in it. I am Pessa, I don't know. The same. My Sumundi and name quite World Cup in peace. That's not Romeo Labia,
I don't know, but I'm here. That's some people are claiming that he's saying he wants. I don't know. I'll have to check.
So you think that Belgium will leave this guy for it?
That's the question sometimes I ask myself.
Because he's a young guy. Despite injuries, no one. He's a very good player.
Yeah.
So a fully fit.
Yeah.
Who can best? Central and I say DM so football in mind. He's one of them. So you think Belgium will leave Romeo Labia for it? That be a then Dr. Randy Abbey. So that's all kind Bible. Be kind Bible. I saw the mama. Who do baby and ask him market home? Or see on data. What do you good, massa? What do you think you can? I'm catching your opinion. Or see on data. This is all sharp born and but wins no draws.
So that's the data. The data is the wins, draws, losses.
Based on data, they are to add idea, but performance on the pitch never had you know, I say, who can, who yourself and us will be kind of Bible or can boss it up, mark your mammy. That's it. The market on data there with Wado or Yadi, but performance Langa.
Okay, Michael, hold on. So okay, what should we do? Should we judge Otuado based on the data or the performance? Because this conversation around Otuado, it looks like it won't go away.
I know. You not only be the Americans on Otuado.
Sporty FM.
Experience niveau. Would the ambassador in Casa imagine say, would the South Africa will you group and a Mali Frima? And qualification
that I get your point.
So we knew all right too. But then I was on some that you see that we now control team. So I was not making Hugo Bruce there. So South Africa for the no pattern of play be hormone.
Yeah.
New stars be a Orlando Pirates team, Mamelodi Sundowns less in Crown. And a Bentley striker be Foster.
Foster.
Yeah, on the pen I mean say or play or outside the Waba team anymore. But what to me say, Hugo Bruce at the BB as a team moment of mobile. Such as an inside that team. Sometimes you know a result, but then before the result,
that's true. Yeah.
Such as a quick transition, even against Rwanda, I mean, say Rwanda, yes, and that's someone who with you. But almost Bobo be want to pa near do 18 boys here. But don't say last year by you struggle. We struggle. In the least, simple beer, you do or your experience or new career because only they are not Calon in the question, only the shampoo in the question, only the La Fuente in the question. Only coaches are Kesaka in the question. But at least only experience or not to buy announce wash announce why you ask a damn yet to. Oh, your mistake, I'm not what's somebody now. Sana coaching that year. I don't know who the only year. Who bet you knew the bear 5.
And the no credit. So you say okay. So should we get some? Because some people argue that let us get a more experienced hand to support Otuado. Some people say that no, let us take him out completely and bring somebody different.
What's the matter? Some of can experience hand. Never so for Obi so who Bruce, but I that be Obi Nagas okay, or the back with staff back. Otuado is nine fan. And to see a more to acquire man uncle. Now I'm told because from now to World Cup, about 7 months.
Yeah, the World Cup is in
June. Embra. Now for your own big players, no Montana, no Philly like own who send your basic structure up to the World Cup. Because in the middle of tournaments, company Messi fire Alpha Cote d'Ivoire, I do a Moji AFCON. What I say? Yeah. And see, a bit Messi, see, I'm a coach in the time, not so by the menu, it's no more to other tonight.
I see.
No coach number 40 no a year, Jumani up to the World Cup. Near man contract, Papa. 2 years or 2 years, 3 years or 3 years, near man targets.
Okay.
Fine.
Final question to you, Michael. So, what if almost say, okay, we won't get rid of Otuado by a Kopo be Manabe Boana? Is that an option? Or for you, it is let's kick him out completely?
Was and can say, you bet me for you, but then you pack on so ban. So a big coach, or be on a
Oh, okay. So once he's coming with a team, it might be a problem.
Because Obi or Bassy and Obi or a big coach, be over. Normally, no Obi on any about Okrubin or the neighbor, people Okrubin or the neighbor, Obi or baby or one second manner or Whistler or Tias and also Bonnie or Tias. But I say a Koran go bet me rush to an chairman, say, in the echo. But maybe I'm not necessarily comfortable with Otuado because Otuado is okay. When I'm qualified, I go for Biaba. Bibi crack across the grandpa. Maybe you start as into at least say, yeah, the man at lunch, and I'm in for new squad and back. Long term, 3 years or 3 years. Okay. You can use your money in my Black Stars.
Okay. All right. Interesting point. Thank you. Let me take another caller. Hello.
Hello, Nathan.
Yes.
Good morning. My name is Osman.
Okay, Osman, please go ahead.
Chidofori is not wrong if he says he's working hard to make the World Cup. He's still playing. Yes.
Somebody in Chidofori's corner.
Yeah. So far as he's still playing, If in the next 6 months he finds himself in a top form, and then the national handlers deems it fit for him to be part of the team, I don't see anything wrong with it. Razak Simpson also scored an own goal during the Unity Cup.
Yes.
So should we say he scored an own goal, so we shouldn't call him? We've had several instances. So please, one, he's a Ghanaian. Two, he's still playing actively. So if in the next 6 months, Richard Ofori is in top form, because I tell you, the goalkeeping is one of the key areas I am worried about going into this World Cup.
Okay.
I am not comfortable with. I have not seen Joseph Annan. But with Benjamin Asari and Atizigi, I still think we need experience. And Richard Ofori has the experience. He was part of the under 20. He's risen through the ranks from under 17, under 20, and then the Black Stars. Players make mistakes and they learn from it. The Oliver Kahns, the Manuel Neuers, the David Diaz, we all made mistakes one way or the other, but they come back stronger. We should encourage him. We should be there for him. Not saying he's made a mistake, so he should be out of the team. No. But we're saying if West come to West and then we see maybe a Kudus score an own goal, means he's a bad player, so we shouldn't call him. No. If he's hardworking and by the time the World Cup list is released, he's in top form, I will advocate for Richard Ofori to be part of the team. If not a number one, at least a backup, so that we know we have an experienced person behind. Have a good morning, Nathan.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much for your call. 054 257 1061. I mean, look, you can call and talk about other things as well. If you have other things on your mind, it's not only a Black Stars conversation. So you can call and let me know. Maybe you want to talk Asante Kotoko, maybe Liverpool v Man United. Let me know. Hello.
So, not my guy.
Yes. Good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from?
It was Steve by Rabbit.
All right. Please go ahead.
Is Raymond there?
No. Raymond is not in studio today.
That's why the studio is quiet today.
Raymond is not in studio today.
Oh, okay. That's good. Charlie, you can also say you're working hard, right?
Sorry?
You think he's working hard, right?
Yes. He says he wants to be part of the World Cup team.
People, they are against that, right?
People what?
People are against that, right? People don't support that, right? Like, they don't support the guy, right?
I want. Yeah, some people don't want him back. Some people.
Why they don't?
Why don't they want him back?
No. You can even sit and die. You can feel that some people is not performing in the class. Why is it down to the national team? You can feel that. You see? Let me tell you. In Aroma. In Aroma. Last season. They're almost at so football is something like, it's not even crazy. It's not nothing like the guy. Even if this big Benjamin Asari guy, it's a big guy. As a guy is not a big boy. We are just using the ball with the small boy. I used to go meet with Ronaldo around and I mean, football is something. And what you can't tell, football is not like that. If the guy and the guy goes, so you need a backup for the guy.
Okay, all right. You have to call us back. The line is not clear at all. All right, 4 minutes after 8. You can still give us a call, 054 257 1061. It looks like this Richard Ofori matter has a lot of people really, really interested. Let me take this caller. Hello.
Hello, Nathan.
Yes.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I can see you are very excited.
No, do you know why? It's not like I'm exactly like whenever I mention Richard Ofori's name, sometimes the reactions I even get from the people in the studio, the reactions even kill me. As soon as you mention Richard Ofori's name, people look at you strangely, and that's why I'm laughing.
Anyway, my name is Kevin from 19. I used to call from the other line.
I was trying to remember the other person.
That's me.
Oh, today why didn't you call the other line?
It's off. The line is off.
The line was off. Michael came on first. Anyway,
after Michael went, the line went off. I don't even know this happening. But
okay,
anyway,
go ahead, please.
Let me pour out my contribution. First of all, Richard Ofori is a Ghanaian, and we've forgotten why. He was brought back. Some seasoned journalists were saying that he's a lucky player than a season game. And look at what happened. Look at what happened. Otua Shooting followed them and decided to use the goalkeeper who is on form than the goalkeeper they claim. Mysteriously, he's lucky. And look at what has resulted in his, in his career concerning the Black Star. So sometimes we don't use those emotions and things to talk about football. Football is about, the fun, especially when it comes to national team. It's fun. Fine. He's a Ghanaian.
Okay.
If he would realize that lucky doesn't catch, like nowadays when we are talking about which is this guy, our new goalkeeper. This our new goalkeeper. People have started saying those things, which is very, very dangerous. We need to help him to build the ability to mount the number one post that he's taking. It's not about his repelling balls. He doesn't call balls. Those things are. I don't want to use a very bad. Those things are things that would not help the team. So we need to realize what has happened to the Flori and stop doing that to Asari. And then we encourage him to train well. You could see he's a bit cuckoo when he's on the post, but he knows how to control the back, and that is what we need. And he needs to build upon that. And we should stop this mysterious and then this, the good thing by saying he doesn't call balls and he doesn't. We don't play football with those things.
But there are some people. But there are some people who believe. There are some people who say that it is true. There's the numbers part. There's the logical part. There's the scientific part. And then some people say that all of that, and so you have all these parts, and then you add the fourth dimension of some of the things we can't explain, and then you mix them all together and come to a decision.
The fourth dimension you are talking about plays football. By now, Benin should have beat Nigeria, because most of the Nigerians go to Benin to get their Jidu and things. But Nigeria beats them, and they are going to play the playoffs.
Okay.
So this thing that doesn't work in football. Now let me come to Honorable Adam Agbana yesterday. Yesterday, it was purely somebody who have a stake in because he has a football team and he manages football. Opinion, because almost all the football officials or the football people in court would never favor players who are born outside. Because they think that they are taking their...
What did he say? I was not in the studio as of that time of the interview.
In fact, I wonder why they didn't pick. They didn't pick. He was actually saying that he's not in favor of saving players who didn't honor the team initially, and now because of what's happening, they are coming.
Okay.
Sporty FM.
You get it.
Okay,
but
so
you see,
that's what he said. Okay.
That's what he said. But he has forgotten that even Ochoa, our coach, initially chose Dortmund over Black Star. Do you remember?
my memory is a little hazy on that. Because Otto played the CAN 2000. That I remember, and then he was at the World Cup. The qualifiers, I'm not.
2000. We called him. He said no. He has a contract with Dortmund, and he's supposed to have come to help.
CAN 2000, Otto played for Ghana. He scored a goal in the competition.
I'm not talking about the he playing. I'm talking. Is it 2000 and where we were booted out? We didn't win one game. Where Milo second come.
Oh, this was what do you call it? 2021 in Cameroon.
Yeah, second come. Yeah, Otto should have been the deputy coach for Milo. Let's ask, and he told Dortmund over Ghana after that time. Why? Because he thinks that Dortmund.
Okay, I'll have to double check to be very sure of this.
Ask your people, ask Raymond. We remember Otto was asked to come and join Milo. Please ask. And he said no. He is with Dortmund. What? And still, if a player will better our team, we need to shout that player. We need to fish out that player. If the player is willing to come, fine. If we can fish out that player and bring him to better our team, that is what we need to do later. But I believe that if we understand it, our football will go forward, and then it will help to increase the value of our players. Thank you.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much for your call.
Sporty FM, the voice of sport.
All right, 054-257-1061, 054-257-1061. The lines are open. You can give me a call. I don't know what is on your mind. Anything on your mind in a sporting sense, let us know. We'll talk about Asante Kotoko in a bit, and we'll do other things. So, yeah. Let me take this caller. Hello.
Well, good morning, Nathan.
Yes, good morning.
Yes, but before I speak on sports, I've been calling your line for some time now.
Yes.
There's a feedback on the network. I don't know whether it's the set I use to listen to you. It seems I am the only one complaining about it.
Okay.
If you remember,
I did.
You hear another station behind. You hear another station.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
Which? How are you listening to us? Is it on the radio or via a box
from
or via
a
the internet? From a handset? From a mobile phone handset?
Yes, a mobile phone handset.
Mobile phone handset. Okay, all right.
Always when I call, I hear it, and I've complained. It's about the third time I'm complaining.
Yes, I think I remember. Okay, again, I'll have to run it by the technical people. They will need to figure out what the challenge is.
Okay. Yes. The matters are plenty. I wanted to talk about Kotoko, but you say the rep is coming.
No problem. You can still make your point. You can talk about Asante Kotoko. We'll get somebody from the club to join us. So maybe, I'm sure they are listening, but you can make your point.
Yes. I want to spend my energy on the Black Star matter.
Okay.
You see, Nita, why are you laughing?
Oh no, I just find it interesting how Black Stars matter seem to interest a lot of Ghanaians. The fascination, it really gets me interested. Anyway, please go ahead. Please go ahead.
Yes. My mandate is about the coach. It seems the authorities, particularly from the FA side, the management team, we don't just hear much from the general secretary or the president. Moves from those angles, we don't hear from them. And now the management team, then the coach himself, doing his own PR. I don't say he can't talk, he should talk. But I was scandalized when he said there are some people, they don't have loyalty for the country. So, in effect, he's saying his door is closed for some people. That was the impression I got. Maybe my understanding of language wasn't clear.
You got. Oh, he said that those who once turned their backs, it will be difficult for them to get into the team. That was what he said.
So he's putting a barrier for them. He's putting in there a barrier for them. And I say it's a wrong approach, because we have had this thing. It didn't start to this guy with PAMG, or how do you call him? Oh, the guy who worked for the CAF people.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this defender from Dusseldorf, he used to play for this way. He's a Ghanaian.
Yes.
He was brought up in Germany.
Yes. Tony.
In 90, yes, Tony Bafu, correct. In 91, I am a bit old. I've watched football. I was in Kwasi Sports Stadium when they brought him to play. In that team, we had also Ali Ibrahim. He was not playing in Ghana. They were all playing from outside. They were all roped into the team. It makes the team stronger. So I say that we should open our doors. There are many people. I was listening to Aman Kwamreku, and he said 2006 he was part of the people who played the qualifiers, but he was never invited into the team that went to Germany. It happens always. There are people in the team now, they have been loyal, but the standard we are going to face will not permit them to play. Look at the Sibo matter. Sibo, me, I call it Sibo, but Kevin always says Sibo, and you are always saying the Sibo. Look at how we called him. I remember the director of communication telling the sporting fraternity that they can't consider him for the October calls because he's new and they have a set of players they are working with. In future, they may consider him.
Yeah.
Look at how he was called. He was brought in on a Thursday when we went to Chad, N'Djamena, and played that horrible game. He was brought in quickly and they had to take us service. Look, where is Sibu now? Is he not an integral part of the team now?
Yeah, he's playing now.
Are we not taking him to whether America or Canada or Mexico? Are we not taking him to the tournament? If by God's grace he has the strength and everything is all right, we are taking him. So a coach shouldn't give that. If he's doing his PR, I don't mind, because we have seen that for the team, for the GFA and all those people, they will never agree to bringing in a stronger coach. We will have to go with that. We don't have anything to do. We don't have anything to do. You could see the minister. He has an open mind towards the matter, but they have decided that they will go with him. And so maybe that's why they are pushing him to do the PR he's doing. He should do it, but he should open his gates to the others. There are many others who will be better, just like the Sibo, Kwesi Sibo, or that we have brought in. That is turning out to be a very good thing for us. So they should open up their gates so that new players, there will be somebody hiding somewhere. Look at our keeper. He has been around, though. He has been around. He has been good all this while. But I don't know whether it was Schaefer who brought him. It is so beautiful we have him now. And we don't think about keeper. Now that Richard Ofori, we are not considering him. He used to be our last battle, but now we are not even considering him. So we should open our gates for others to come in. I don't want to waste all your time.
All right.
Thank you very, very much.
Thank you for your call. It's 20 minutes after 8. This is still the Sporty Breakfast. All right, let me take one last call and then we can get into our Asante Kotoko conversation. Hello?
Hello, Nathan.
Yes.
Good morning.
Good morning.
This is John from Kaswa.
All right. Please go ahead.
Nathan, I don't think Utuado has said that he doesn't want to cast his net wide to bring in other players to augment the team.
Yes.
Has he said that?
No, I've also not heard anything.
Yeah, he hasn't said that. But let me make this illustration. Nathan, you've seen this beautiful lady that you are so much in love with. You get closer to this lady. You propose to her. She tells you, for now you don't have money, so you should wait. Now you make the money. And this lady all of a sudden falls in love with you. Would you marry this kind of lady?
No, I'll be very hesitant. Personally, that's just me. I don't know about others. I personally would be very hesitant.
If you marry this kind of lady, do you know what this lady is coming to do to you? What kind of heart is this lady coming to live with you with? Otto has never said that he won't cast his net wide to, catch more fish to the team. Mm-hmm. The two fishes we want our net to avoid is those two boys who were approached and denied playing for the Black Stars. That's the net we don't want that's the fishes we don't want our net to catch.
Okay, let me ask you a question. So what if after all of this, after consideration, let's say by May next year, right? These two gentlemen have absolutely wonderful seasons, and there's a decision that, you know what, based on what they've done, we want to take them to the World Cup. What would you say?
For me, it's not about form I'm talking about. I'm talking about commitment. Commitment. You said you don't feel maybe Ghanaian. You don't feel like playing for the Black Stars. You are not accustomed to our culture. So all of a sudden, how can you develop that kind of heart to play for the nation? That's the problem I have. Because playing for Black Stars must come with commitment. And would they be available after the World Cup? That's why I keep asking of their age. There's somebody like Nketiah is 26 years. Okay, he has realized that if he doesn't get World Cup to play now, in the next World Cup, he'll be 30 years, and no team is going to call him. So definitely, he will succumb to play for the Black Stars. That's my problem. But we are not saying that other people should not be called into the Black Stars. That's not what we are saying. But for those that have been approached and they said no, they don't feel Ghanaian. They don't feel like playing for the Black Stars. For them, I don't see the reason why, even if they're on top of one, we should still call them.
But you see, I get the point you're making. But unfortunately, we also cannot be too hard on them because you see, these people were born elsewhere. They grew up elsewhere. So if in their adulthood you want them to come and play for your country, they'll have to make a decision, right? I think they deserve the right to make a decision, don't they?
Yeah, I agree with you.
Uh-huh. And at that time, maybe they believe that.
Yeah, I'm coming. I'm coming. Mm-hmm. How long should it take for you to make that decision? Is it after we are qualified for the World Cup?
As for how long it takes, I cannot say. And I get your point.
Should it be after we have qualified for the World Cup? Should it be that?
Well, it's not a unique situation. It is not at all. It's not a very unique situation. So I understand how you feel, but it happens all the time.
For me.
And you see, you can't forget, they are human beings, they are footballers, they have their interests to protect. So they will play the politics the best way they know how to play it.
Okay. And we also know how to play the politics the best way we know. For me, I don't understand at all.
My producer says I should ask you a question. He says that if today, you are called and you are offered Ghanaian citizenship and UK citizenship, which one will you take? I don't know why he's asking you that question. He says if you are called today, right, and you are offered Ghanaian citizenship and UK citizenship, and there's a plane at the airport with 2 empty seats. One is for you. If you say that I want to go to the UK, you are being taken. You will be turned into a British citizen. Which one will you take?
What? This. Excuse me, but this question is irrelevant to what is going on. Yes. Nathan, why am I saying this? You were called to come and do a job.
But in doing that job, you are switching your nationality too. And because once they come to play for Ghana, they are no longer British people. Well, maybe they can hold 2 passports. I don't know. I have to find out the politics of it. But yeah.
But for me.
Anyway, John. So your point is once they were not sure of their decision, we should move on from them.
Simple, because they will never play for the Black Stars after the World Cup if you like market.
I see. Okay, all right.
They will. I am telling you, they will. Later, what I'm saying, please, market. If these two players, are included into the team, and they come and play the World Cup, they will play for the Black Stars again. all they want is to have that. All they want is to have that World Cup record on their CV. Simple.
Okay, all right, John. Thank you, thank you so much for the call.
And as for Richie Dufori, it's coming to the Black Stars. It's like kind of going through the eye of the needle.
Anyway, all right, 8:26. Let's move on. We'll put a pause on the calls for now. So for those who are calling, please pause. We'll get back to the lines in a bit. But as I said earlier, this weekend Asante Kotoko are in action. They play against Wydad Athletic Club of Casablanca at the Accra Sports Stadium in the CAF Comfort Cup. Now Kotoko are hoping to get to the group stage, but they need to overcome Wydad first. They need to overcome Wydad first in that very important two-legged encounter. Before we get into any bit of the conversation, for those who don't know what is happening, let's listen to this promo to give you a very good idea of what exactly is happening at the Accra Sports Stadium on Sunday.
It's the Red Redemption! It's the CAF Confederations Cup and Ghana's only rap in Africa. Kumasi Asante Kotoko is at it again.
Asante Kotoko say,
The second prelims of the CAF Confederations Cup agenda the group stage is on. It's Kumasi Asante Kotoko against Wydad Athletic Club of Morocco at the Accra Sports Stadium, Empire Asia. And Sunday, October 19, 2025. Ghana need us one year. Asante Man need us 1 year. The Red Army need us 1 year. And Asante Kotoko at the war front. Kumasi Asante Kotoko against WAC of Morocco. Obiang Kikanoho. Yatete Sonsuaba form. Popular stand. And the center lining now 50 cities per and a VIP one na. And 200 Ghana cities. Yeah, Philly Stadium no. And the data you agu WAC for so. And the CAF Confederations Cup 2025. Kumasi Asante Kotoko against WAC of Morocco. And more beyond to the field. Yes, yeah. And what the Accra Sports Stadium. And you fabu. And you fabulous. Hey, and what does this?
Asante Kotoko yebesha mamo.
All right, so that's the promo. Kotoko are taking on Wydad Athletic Club this weekend. All right, so I have Big Joe is joining us. George Forson, aka Big Joe from Porcupine Tertiary. George, how are you doing?
I'm doing great.
Everything cool?
I'm very
right. The Red Army is storming Accra. I've been seeing lots of the Kotoko fans in Accra. Yeah. Michael Asaibradu is also joining us on the line. Michael, how are you doing? Good morning.
Well, good morning, Nathan.
And Michael, how is Kumasi? It would have been lovely to have the game in Kumasi, but it hasn't happened. But how are people in Kumasi feeling and getting ready for this very important game on Sunday?
Well, I think those who are keen to watch the game are making arrangements. And
Sporty
there have been arrangements to allocate a bus so that if you want to travel from Kumasi to watch Asante Kotoko on Sunday in Accra, you would have to just commit a fee of 100 Ghana cedis, and the bus will convey you from Kumasi to Accra and then back from Accra to Kumasi. So that is how the arrangement is. So I know preparations are in earnest, and there is a mobilization drive to raise funds and also to whip up enthusiasm ahead of the game. And so, yeah, we expect a crowd, a certain number of people to move from Kumasi to Accra to watch the game on Sunday. But as you said, ideally, it would have been perfect that the game would have taken place here in Kumasi at the Babangida Sports Stadium. But all the same, for the Kotoko fans, many have not given us the way to have been clad in red to redeem themselves against WAC of Morocco. So I expect to see an improved attendance on Sunday's game or in Sunday's game, different from the one we saw against Kwara in the first prelims in terms of the qualification.
George is here. George, how are you doing? Okay, hold on. Your mic is on now.
Okay, all right.
How have you guys been preparing? You know that Porcupine Tertiary, they are a key part of the Asante Kotoko family.
Sure.
You provide the team with a lot of support and all. How have you been getting ready for this very important game?
Okay, so Nathan, good morning, and let me take this opportunity to say a very big good morning to your listeners and everybody, and to all the members of Pokemon Church who are watching. Because they were excited when I told them I was coming onto your show.
Wonderful.
Yes, so they are watching. And then, so back to your question. Yes, so regards to preparation, you know, as I go and work, we have a history.
Yes.
We have a score to settle.
Yes.
Yeah, but the last time they came here, I think we scored 2-1. But because of the away goal that they had when we went there, they took the cup away.
Yeah. This was in 2002.
Yes, and that was such a painful way of losing the cup. So for Sunday, when the draw came and we realized that we were going to play them, we said, I think this is the time for us to also teach them that, we can also do what is it that they did to us some years ago. So for us, it's a revenge and we are excited. And so for Sunday, we are coming from all of the campuses scattered all over. Cape Coast, Winneba, Kumasi, Accra, being the host. We are organizing a lot of the students around to come. So we are looking at getting probably around 1,000.
Okay.
Yes, 1,000 university students to come on board. And then I guess when the communication went out, a few SHS campuses in Accra also reached out to us that they would also want to come and have a feel of what it is that will be happening on Sunday. So we've extended invitation to them for them to also come on Sunday. So we're expecting another 1,000 from SHS campuses. It's going up to 1,000, and we are going to take charge of the game. I've told them already that with the kind of energy they are bringing on Sunday, for us we have one goal already. We are giving Kotoko one goal. Because of the kind of energy that we are bringing. So that is what we've been doing over the period, and we've been arranging how we're going to get the buses and get the tickets and everything. Yeah. So that's what we've been doing on the low.
Wonderful. That's a very interesting way of mobilizing and getting fans at the ground, because this is not in Kumasi. If we were in Kumasi, the ground would be filled, but it's almost difficult doing the same thing in Accra. Michael, in terms of preparation, team news and all of that, what has been happening with Asante Kotoko? How have they been getting ready for this game, and what has Abdul Karim Zito said and or done ahead of this Sunday's encounter?
Well, I want to put myself in the shoes of those who would have to prepare the team from the psychological point of view. If there was any message I would need to deliver to this set of players, definitely it would hinge on the history between Asante Kotoko and WAC, then the history between Kotoko and Moroccan clubs. Then also you look at the form of Kotoko this season. So I want to segregate it into three pieces. And the first one would have to be the history between the two clubs. WAC actually is the first Moroccan club Asante Kotoko had to play in Africa. And also they are the third North African side that Kotoko had to face in Africa. Their first meeting was in 1987, then in the African Cup of Champions Club, which is now known as the CAF Champions League. In 87, Kotoko went to Morocco. They secured a 1-1 draw against them. And then in the return encounter, Kotoko won 2-0 to progress beyond the second round phase of the qualification. The Kotoko eliminated WAC. Then in 2002, that was their next meeting. In the Cup Winners' Cup final, Kotoko had eliminated two North African sides en route to the final. And in the game against WAC, they lost the first leg 1-0. And then in the second leg, when it mattered most, that Kotoko needed the win and also had to keep a clean sheet to stand a better chance of claiming the trophy. They had a lot of issues bedeviling them. Right before the game, their main striker, Nana Hindi, had to withdraw. He had to pull out due to an injury, a mysterious injury, which to date nobody has been able to explain the cause. And Kotoko eventually won the game 2, Aziz and Sir Michael will say. But that one goal, WAC scored, with the game ending 2-1, meant that despite WAC losing, they claimed the trophy at the expense of Asante Kotoko. The last time they met, that was a revenge mission for Asante Kotoko in 2004. In the CAF Confederation Cup playoff, Kotoko had then dropped from the CAF Champions League qualification, and they had to face WAC for a place in the group stage. Now in the game, Kotoko won the first leg at home by 2-0, and then they played a 1-1 draw in Morocco against WAC. So if you look at the 6 previous matches they've played, Kotoko have won all their home games against WAC, and then they've secured 2 away draws against WAC. The only time they lost was in 2002 when they played in Casablanca away against Wydad Athletics. So clearly, they have a better head-to-head record against WAC of Morocco. But there is one thing that WAC has had on Kotoko, which looks like it has forever been stained in terms of Kotoko's history, and then it's forever been etched in the memory of Asante Kotoko fans, which is where they had to come despite losing the game. They claimed a trophy at the expense of Kotoko. So, even as much as Kotoko has a very good head-to-head record, they will always refer to that 2002 meeting, and that is how come they've christened this game a redemption, red redemption. And then Kotoko against Moroccan opponents, they seem to have a fair chance whenever they have to face Moroccan opponents. Maybe the last 2 engagements with Moroccan outfits will not be all too pleasant. In 2009, that was the last time they played against a side from Morocco in Africa, and that was in the CAF Champions League first round. Asante Kotoko won the first leg 3-1 against Etihad Kemiset, and then Kemiset won the return encounter 2-0 to eliminate Kotoko from the CAF Champions League. Then again, in 2005, Kotoko came up against FAR Rabat of Morocco in the first round of the CAF Champions League. Again, Kotoko won the first leg at home by a 0-0, and then they lost the return encounter 2-0, and they were eliminated. But before these 2, the previous 2 had seen Kotoko advance past the Moroccan outfits. In 1993, they faced Kokab Marrakech. Kotoko won the first leg 3-0 at home, and then they went all the way to the second leg and lost a 0-0, progressing with a 3-1 aggregate scoreline. And then the other time was in 1990 when they faced FAR Rabat, and the first leg ended 3-3 in Morocco, and Kotoko won the second leg 1-0 to advance. So in 4 engagements against other Moroccan sides beyond WAC of Morocco, Kotoko have qualified twice in 1990, 1993, and then they've been eliminated twice. That is in 2005 and 2009. But in all these statistics I reviewed, there is one thing that remained constant. Kotoko have always dealt with any Moroccan opponent they have hosted, be it WAC, FAR Rabat, Etihad Kemiset, or Kokab Marrakech. Any Moroccan side that has visited Ghanaian soil to play against Asante Kotoko has been defeated. So as I said, if I am psyching these players up, I want to do this on this tangent. I want to ask these players that would they want to be the first set or the first bunch who will lose to a Moroccan side or fail to win against a Moroccan side in a home game? And definitely, I believe that this will spur the players on to step onto the field, deliver to protect that heritage. We want to protect this record, and that will kind of draw a positive reaction from these set of players. Another one that I will have to look at is that Kotoko have always given themselves a chance if they have to play the first leg here and travel to Morocco to play the second leg. And as has been evidenced in some of the away trips to Morocco, the only time they did not score was against Kokab Marrakech in 1993, against FAR Rabat in 2005, and Etihad Kemiset in 2009 in terms of Moroccan opponents. In 1990, they traveled to face FAR Rabat, and they scored 3 goals against them. So it means they stand a chance that if they do stuff right, they can go to Morocco and also enjoy a run. Again, in 2004, they drew 1-1 away at WAC of Morocco. And then in 1987, they drew 1-1 away against WAC of Morocco. So the history is there. The players can refer to this, try and then spur themselves on to step out onto the pitch to deliver. Now, again, how would they prepare for this game? There were concerns about some players like Albert Tamoa, but I think these doubts have been put to bed. He has trained with the team. We are not fully aware yet as to his full match readiness, but from the early indications, I think Albert Tamoa is ready to go, and he will likely get beyond 45 minutes. So it means if he's likely to play 60, 70 minutes, then he is good to start, and that should be okay. The player himself has reported for training, is okay, and that is positive enough for Asante Kotoko. In terms of their playing body, The only sad news has to do with Shaibu Abubakar, who suffered a very, very bad injury. He's returned to Kumasi, where he will undergo further tests so that they will ascertain the actual damage he suffered, and then they will know the period that he will be out. But that aside, I think the rest of the playing body are ready to continue and do what they want to do to help protect their image and also the reputation of Asante Kotoko. Opponent watch, if they are also to consider what this WAC team has done, then they will know that they are an informed side, and I believe that the conversation will travel into that later. WAC of Morocco are coming into this game on the back of a rich vein of form. They top the Moroccan league. They have 10 points out of 4 games. They have not lost, and they come in here with a lot of confidence. But when we delve deeper, they'll be able to assess their squad and players who are likely to play and perhaps affect Kotoko in a negative way.
You speak about playing body and all of that. There's this story that popped up 2 days ago, and I just need you to confirm and give us some context. There were reports saying that Samson Tinedu had been suspended because he left camp and all of that. What is the actual story concerning Samson Tinedu and the reported suspension for his leaving the camp without permission, as the stories have alleged?
Decided to focus solely on the WAC game, and they've not given much out regarding this development. All that we've heard are speculations going across social media and also in the media circles. If not really putting a name to exactly what it is that the player has done. But as we can confirm, Samuel Tinedu has not been part of the Asante Kotoko squad. We don't know yet, but I think management will want to finish with everything they are doing regarding this WAC game, and then in the right time, they will communicate regarding the player, Samuel Tinedu. But that aside, I think the players are more focused on this game. They are not worried about what actually is wrong with him. And I think I want to follow that trend. I don't want to be the one to spill such news out there. Maybe let's wait. When they are done, then they will speak to it officially and confirm exactly what it is that Tinedu has done and whether it falls into the bracket of indiscretions and why maybe if they have suspended him, why they have done that. So with your permission, I think I want to stay out and not really be the one to spill the news.
Okay, I mean that's quite fair. And let me come back to Big Joe. I mean, as fans,
sure,
what are you expecting on Sunday? You know, we all do recognize that it's not the easiest of tasks, right? We all do recognize that it will demand a lot from Asante Kotoko. But what are your expectations? What do you want to see from the team on Sunday?
Okay, so what we intend to see on Sunday is a fully packed stadium, probably minimum of, let's say, 25,000. I guess Stadium was like 40,000. So if even if we're able to do 25 minimum, I think that should be good. And doing that, of course, like you said, it will not come easy. We need to put in a lot of work. So yesterday, what we did was to give the team, the playing body and the technical team and the management themselves a very good, befitting welcome into the Accra.
Okay.
So what we did was that we spoke to a few of the supporters that were in Accra, those who have cars, so they should come to the stadium where they had their first meeting, so that after that we move in a convoy. I think this should be the longest convoy related to football that I have seen. We had about 35 cars.
35?
Yes, all branded in Asante Kotoko flags, and we move from the stadium all through the main street, in the traffic, in the motorcade, all the way to the team hotel. And that was massive. When we got to the team hotel, you could realize that the players were shocked that we had doctors and lawyers. I can mention Dr. Banu was in it.
Yes.
We have some doctors from Kolebu. I was there myself. I have other engineers that I knew in Kotoko. And we were all in the queue just because Kotoko was in town. So that was what we did yesterday. And it was good. And we were getting feedback from the social media and from other radio stations. And I saw your guys. Your guys were there. They did everything. We are grateful for coming. So we are not done. For tomorrow being the Saturday, we have a packed day tomorrow.
Okay.
So what will happen tomorrow is that we are inviting a lot more. Now yesterday we did 35. Tomorrow we are doing about 80 cars. And we are doing the same thing with a bus. We'll be doing a longer stretch. So from the team hotel to Adenta House and down to Adenta Barrier, all the way to La Paz, to Malam Junction, to Dakuman Kokumpe, to Aboso Kai, to Circle, to Kaneshi, all through. We'll be driving through tomorrow. Then we'll have a mini rally at Obra Sports. That is for tomorrow. Then whilst we are doing
so
that,
a rally of supporters.
Yeah, supporters.
Okay.
So we are calling all supporters. If you don't have a car, don't worry. Just leave your home and then go to Obra Sport and wait for us. Because we will do the town riding and then we'll come and mass up at the place. Whilst we are doing that, the Fabu Sensors team, you remember Kotoko is collecting data and using the same data to raise some form of funds to run the club. So the Fabu Sensors team will also be at Aboso Kaim, permanently stay there. So if you are in Accra and you want to get yourself registered or you think you have registered, you need your card. The Fabu Sensors team, they are on their way to Accra. Tomorrow they are setting up at Aboso Kaim. So get there and then get yourself registered and then pay. Then the last thing is that the management have also put out online ticket sale. So if you want to buy the ticket ahead of time, so you don't get to the gate and then get into the queue. So you can dial the short code, which is *365 *1935 hash.
Okay.
*365 *1935 hash.
Okay.
The 1935
*365
yes,
1935 hash. Okay.
Of course,
1935
you know what it is.
Asante Kotoko came into existence.
So that will allow you to buy your ticket online, and you can buy multiples of 6. So the first time you dial it, you can buy 6. Then you can dial again to buy another 6, and then like that. If I'm buying for 100, that's how I'll go with.
So you buy it in chunks of 6
so you get
until you get the number you want.
So that is all that we've put together between today, tomorrow, and all of that. And I'm sure with all of this, we'll be able to pull the numbers.
Yeah, it sounds. I like the plan. I like the plan. They're moving about, whipping, creating the atmosphere is wonderful. Michael, in terms of matters on the pitch, we saw Kotoko play Kwara. We were talking about how they handled that game. They gave 3 goals away. I mean, ultimately, they went to Nigeria to get a result. Surely, we can't expect Kotoko to repeat that, right? They can't allow Wydad club to score 3 times in Ghana and expect to have an okay second leg. How should they approach the game? What should be Asante Kotoko's plan on Sunday to ensure that they get the best result ahead of that second leg in Morocco?
Without Athletic,
the voice of sport.
Different opponents when compared to Kwara, they seem to be on a different level or at a different level. Kwara, I think was an opponent that Kotoko had that advantage over in terms of quality of players and everything that you would need, technical team, etc. Really, Kotoko had it over Kwara. So it was telling that even at a point in time when Kotoko considered 3 against them, they were still confident that, judging by what they had witnessed in the first leg, they will go into the second leg and then right the wrongs and then progress. They cannot afford to set up like that and play like that against an opponent like Wydad Athletic Club. And so, with the question you asked, yes, Kotoko must set up and then play this game in a manner where they are not afraid of the Wydad team, but they show respect Wydad and also appreciate the kind of football club they are at present, not even for the history and everything. Wydad actually do possess some quality in their technical team. Their coach, Mohamed Amin Ben Hashem, is a UEFA Pro licensed holder. He's done a solid job coaching a series of Moroccan clubs, Etihad, Tanger, Fus Rabat, and then his last club was Renaissance Rama before he had to come to WAC. And in his first 4 games at WAC in the Botola League, as I mentioned, he's not lost a game. He's won 3, he's drawn 1. It should tell you the kind of team that he set up. And he has quality players to complement any formation that he will set up in. This season, he's used 20 players. His most used formation is a 4-3-3. And then the only other game he did not use a 4-3-3 was even a variation of the 4-3-3, which is the 4-2-3-1. So clearly it tells you that he's an attacking-oriented coach. His approach is into getting minimum 4 attacking players involved in a certain attacking transition for his side. And the players is used mostly, I mentioned 20 players, but there are 4 players who have actually been very consistent in terms of playing for him. And definitely the goalkeeper, El Mehdi Benabid, he will likely be the one to start. And their left back, Ayub Bucheta, he's played all minutes for his side this season. It looks like the coach trusts him. And the same applies to their right back, Mohamed Mufid, who's also played all the 4 games. And then as well, there is Amin Abufa, who's a center back. So he's very consistent with his defensive lineup. The only changes perhaps he will throw in will have to be with the forward areas. But how he sets up his defense is mostly consistent with the back 4. The only time that they did not have a center back start was Bart Majers. And Bart Majers had to miss a game. I don't know if it was injury or that, but he's played 3 games and played all minutes. So one thing that Mohamed Amin is consistent with is his back line. Now let's reverse it to Asante Kotoko and let's look at something. Kotoko have used 2 goalkeepers so far this season, Mohamed Kamara and then Aziz Dari. Aziz Dari has kept 2 clean sheets in 2 games. Kamara has also been in the post for 3 matches, I must say. He was in the Confederation Cup, and then he also was in the league for 2 games, the game against Nations and the game against Brecum Chelsea. So in the 3 games, he's kept 2 clean sheets. So it looks like Kotoko are not so settled on who to start in the goalpost, but I dare say that or any other goalkeeper Kotoko selects for this game has the quality to show. Aziz Dari was excellent for Buchen United at the point in time last season. He went on a long streak without conceding at home until they lost to BBN Costa. So he showed that even before he joined Asante Kotoko, he had written his name in the book of excellent goalkeepers in Ghana's top flight. So he's fit to start a game of this magnitude. The same applies to Mohamed Kamara, who has been Kotoko's trusted pair of hands. He's had his own issues, one or there, but I still think he has a quality to thwart any opponent. When Kotoko went to Kaizer Chiefs, it was the reason they won that cup, Toyota Cup in South Africa. His penalty stopping heroics was the reason Kaizer Chiefs did not prevail over Asante Kotoko. So you have to give it to him. Then again, the right back. In as much as Mohamed Mufid has started all games for Wydad, the same applies to Lord Amon for Asante Kotoko. He's been ever present, he's been consistent, and after overcoming his injury issues, it looks like the sure bet to start a right back. Left back, Kotoko have used 2 players, Joseph Amoah and Patrick Essiedu, but either player has showed that he has a quality to come in and deliver as required by the coaches. Joseph Amoah was used for the second leg against Kwara, and he did excellently. And the coaches repaid his hard work and his commitment by starting him in the crucial game against Hearts of Lions when they returned from Nigeria. And he was solid. He even suffered an injury, but he was able to hold his own through excellently until it got to the time where the coaches felt he had burned his fuel and they decided to withdraw him and then take him out. Then also Samba O'Neill. So it is a similar case between the 2 sides. Sporty they barely changed their defensive lineup. Kotoko will likely have their constant 3, Samba, Patrick Essiedu, and then Lord Amoah starting for them on any given day. The same applies to WAC of Morocco. So for consistency, you have to look at their defense and say, yes, it happened there. And in the middle, in defensive midfield, Abdel Fagor Laimrat has started all 4 games for WAC of Morocco. He's not finished all the 4 games though. He has been the constant in there. Then they have this Congolese midfielder, Joseph Bakasu. He's also been a very consistent starter for them. And one of Stefan Azizki or another midfielder will likely start for them, depending on the shape that they decide to adopt. There are times where they go for Osama Zemraoui or Stefan Azizki. If they are playing Stefan Azizki, it means that they will go with a 4-2-3-1, so that Azizki will be the number 10 operating as the attacking midfielder. If they are going for the 4-3-3, it will be Abdel Fagor Laimrat, Joseph Bakasu, and then Osama Zemraoui. So they also have the constant 2 in there, Bakasu and Laimrat. They will likely be the sure starters in midfield. Then one of Zemraoui or Stefan Azizki would have to play a role in there, depending on the shape that the coach will adopt. It is quite different for Asante Kotoko, and that is why I have a bit of a worry. Kotoko's midfield from last season has changed entirely, And for this season, Zita has been trying to find that works. He's been trying to find a certain setup that will work for his side. He's tried Lord Hilary Adabo. He has been the constant in there. He's been paired with the likes of Seth Kwadwo, Emmanuel Enchi. He's been paired with Hubert Jehu, Seth Kwadwo. He's been paired with Emmanuel Enchi, Hubert Jehu. And so it gives me the impression that if there's one sure starter in the midfield, it will likely be Lord Hilary Dabo. Then the coach would have to set from the pool of the other midfielders, including Seth Kwadwo, Emmanuel Enchi, Hubert Jehu, and even to an extent, you can include players like Philip Amo or Walid Neymar Hosseini. So Kotoko will likely do the selections from there. But I think the coaches will be clear in their minds as to who to start after the final training session. And so maybe we'll have to wait after today's training session, where we are likely to see the dust settle more, and then maybe the road will be clear to decide who gets to start in the middle. So Waka more consistent in the middle than Asante Kotoko is. And then in attack, that is where they are loaded with a lot of talent. Tembinkosi Lodge, Nordin Amrabat, Hamza Hanuri. Hanuri is their main starter in terms of the center forward positions. And then on the flanks, there is Lodge and then also Nordin Amrabat to support. But they don't play expansive. Their wingers invert, similar to how Bayern Munich used to play with Ribery and Arjen Robben, where they invert, cut in, and allow for their fullbacks to overlap, and then they will provide that wide options. And so if you look through their statistics, their right back, who I mentioned his name, he is, excuse me, I'm coming. He is Mohamed Mufid. He has 1 assist to his name so far. Ayub Busheta, their left back, also has an assist to his name so far in the league. So it means their fullbacks are very attacking oriented, and it's because of how the team plays. When Nordin Amrabat plays on the right, he inverts and allows for Mufid to overlap. And then when Binkosi Lodge also plays on the left, he inverts and allows for Bucheta to also overlap. So that is typically how WAC plays. So if Kotoko will need to face them squarely, they will need to draw up in a shape that does not allow enough spaces on the flanks for their marauding fullbacks to attack. Again, Kotoko will need to have numbers in the middle to thwart the effort of WAC of Morocco in terms of their midfield dominance. One area that I think Kotoko can use to affect WAC is Kotoko's own wide areas. And Kotoko's biggest strength lies in their wing attackers. Peter Amiduako on the left, Albert Amo on the right. They are similar players, but very different also. Peter Amiduako is very direct. He will have a go at you right from the flanks, drive into the box. For Albert Amo, his interpositional play is that excellent, that he's not static. He might be on the wings at a point in time. The next moment is in the central areas. So judging by how Asante Kotoko use him and how fit he is, I think he will be a valuable asset to Asante Kotoko going forward. It will create loads of problems for the WAC of Morocco team. And why I said that the wing attackers will be the main strength areas for Asante Kotoko is that WAC, as I've mentioned, have offensive-minded fullbacks.
Okay.
Busheta will search forward. Mufid will search forward. Enough space for Asante Kotoko to exploit. So I think if Kotoko set up well and utilize their wing attackers effectively, they will definitely wreak havoc from those areas to affect the WAC of Morocco team very positively. So these are the key areas that I expect that the game will be played on. But Kotoko should have enough numbers in the middle. And if I was Zito, I will play a false 9. Kwame Poku is not really fit to play a game of this magnitude. Morifin Donzo has not really settled in. And I think the best he can contribute in this game is to climb off the bench and play a role of a sub. So in this case, I will want to add more numbers in the middle. Allow the likes of Jehu and Albert Amwa to roam freely. Then you get Seth Kwadwo, Emmanuel Enchi also in the middle. You play a false 9. Jehu can operate in that role. He can roam. And then at various points in time, he can alternate positions between himself and Albert Amwa. So Jehu will likely drop to the wing, allow Albert Amwa to cut in. Albert Amwa will also interchange with Jehu as and when. I think when it happens in this manner, Kotoko do not really have an identifiable presence in the central areas. People will say it will not really worry WAC in terms of an attacker drawing the defenders away from their positions and all that. But then again, it will create a certain confusion among the WAC defense. At a point in time, they wouldn't know who to mark. Albert Tamwa comes and leaves. The same applies to Jehu Entry and also drive into the box. And I think it will allow for Kotoko to have the needed presence in the middle. It will be an interesting game. And trust me, if you go to the Accra Sports Stadium to watch this game, it will be definitely worth your money because Kotoko will produce quality and WAC will also produce quality.
Well, it's set up to be a very, very good encounter over the weekend. Finally, George, what will you tell those who are at home, those who are listening, those who, are trying to understand what to do with their Sunday, the Kotoko fans who are not sure whether they should come or they shouldn't come? What will be your final word to them?
Okay, so this is my final word to every Kotoko supporter, first of all, and then every football-loving supporter who lives in and around Accra, is that it is the CAF Confederation game.
Mm-hmm.
It's a big one.
Mm-hmm.
It's a redemption Sunday, and we can all go together, pull it off. Be at the stadium, get your tickets. Like I said, so if you want to do an advanced online ticket buying, it's a *365*1935#. You can buy as many as possible. If you don't want that and you want to get to the gate and buy, I'm sure the gates will open at 11 a.m. in the morning. So you get there, you can buy your ticket, and then you get seated, and then you'll be saved. So let's all of us. I mean, this is more like a Ghana thing, yeah, because Kotoko is the only surviving Ghanaian club now in the competition. So let's all of us come together, be at the stadium, check the team up, do whatever it is that we are supposed to do. If it is that you are supposed to go and see Ulomo, go and do it on our behalf. If you are supposed to pour libation, do it on our behalf. Those of us who call our pastor to pray, who will do so.
You do all of that.
All hands on deck, all angle. WAC has one thing on Sunday. They have to fall, and they must fall heavily. We want to settle the game in Accra, so that whatever happens when we get there will say back case. We want to settle everything on Sunday.
Everything has to be settled.
Yes, we will settle it on Sunday, and we will need everybody to come on board. I mean, this is, like I said, this is a Ghana thing. Let's all come on board. I know my house fans are they are pressing my neck on the side, but it's okay. I mean, it's part of the game. But let's all come together. Let's do this for Mother Ghana, and because we've lost our slots. And these are the games that we will need to play and win convincingly to get the coefficient numbers, and then also come up again with our slot, which also put initially 4 and now has gotten them to 2. So we will need to. Jim did some work to get some numbers. I think the last time Midem also did some work to get some numbers. So you've got to also put some numbers. Is ups the chances of Ghana getting our 4 slots back. So that's what we'll plead. Everybody should be part of it, and we'll drive it. And we know we'll win Sunday. Definitely we'll win.
You win. You want to give us a scoreline?
Oh, we are winning. We are winning. Definitely we are winning.
Okay, so one final time. The short code *365*
yes
1935#. Okay, yes. I'm just putting it on one of the pages I'm on. There are some Kotoko fans there, so I'm just putting it there so everybody knows. George, thank you so much for passing through. I wish you guys the very best. Even in terms of the preparation, it's not easy mobilizing. So I wish you the very best as you try and get as many people to the ground as possible. So, listeners, George Forson, he's aka Big Joe, he's with Porcupine Tertiary. So be on the lookout. They will be coming to your neighborhood, or they might be passing by. Join them, sign up, be part of it. So Sunday, Asante Kotoko players will see that they have lots of love in Accra. People are in the stands cheering them on, so they can defeat WAC by a very good margin ahead of that second leg. George, thank you so much. We wish you the very best as you get ready for Sunday. Michael, would you want to give us a prediction?
It is a game that I think will be keenly contested. I see Kotoko scoring. I also see WAC scoring. And if I'm being very realistic, I think Kotoko cannot outscore WAC. So it's likely this game ends in a score draw.
I see. Wow, interesting. Well, I mean, as you've stated, Wydad Casablanca are in some good form. Let's see what Asante Kotoko can do on Sunday in the CAF Confed Cup. This is still the Sporty Breakfast. You can send in your comments on 054-257-1061, 054-257-1061. In terms of the CAF Confederation Cup, let me just run the full fixture list for our listeners this weekend. Michael, I'm sure, if any tie jumps out at you, can you let me know, and I'll give you a few minutes to talk about them. It's a very, very, very long list of games for the 17th, 18th, and 19th. All right, so let's go. Al Ittihad Libya will face Al Masry of Egypt. Simba of DRC will take on Kaizer Chiefs of South Africa. That's an interesting one. Zesco of Zambia take on Jwaneng Galaxy of Botswana. KM of Zanzibar face Azam of Tanzania. And you've got, I don't know how to say this. Is it Kingsley de Augusto, I think, of Equatorial Guinea, I believe. They take on Stellenbosch of South Africa. Maniema of DRC face Royal Leopards of Eswatini. Dekeda of Somalia take on Zamalek of Egypt. San Pedro of Cote d'Ivoire face Coton FC of Benin. Olympique de Safi,
Sporty FM,
Mauritania, they face Stade Tunisien of Mali. Okay, all right. Okay, let's proceed with the games. I was trying to find Olympique de Safi's identity or where they were coming from. Nairobi United of Kenya, they face Etoile Sportive du Sahel of Tunisia. Ferroviario Maputo, they take on Mozambique. Michael, remember Ferroviario? They've come to Ghana a couple of times to play.
Exactly.
They've come to Ghana a couple of times to play. This must have been, was it 97 CAF Champions League?
I think they've been here in the 90s. Yep, I will need to draw into the history books and get that.
Okay, but Ferroviario have been to Ghana a few times, I remember. And Otoho Dioyo, Raymond Yamado's favorite Congolese team. He's always mentioning their name. And then in other games, Flambeau du Centre of Burundi face Singida Black Stars of Tanzania. Kotoko face Wydad. Academy de Fad take on USM Alger. Hafia of Guinea face CR Belouizdad. USFA of Burkina Faso face Joliba of Mali. USM Alger. Okay, so this is on the 19th. Okay, so USM Alger and Academy de Fad, that's the return leg. So games on the 17th, 18th, and 19th, I've gone through that for our listeners. When you go to the CAF Champions League, Ghana doesn't have a representative in that competition anymore, but it doesn't mean the competition has ended. There are games that will be played on the 17th, 18th, and 19th. So Police FC of Kenya face Al Hilal Omdurman of Sudan. Monastir of Tunisia face JSK of Algeria. JSK Conquest of Gold Stars. Aigle Noir of Burundi face El Ahly of Egypt. Black Bulls of Mozambique take on Rivers United, Nigeria. Silver Strikers of Mali face Young Africans or Yanga, Tanzania. The game between Ethiopian Insurance and Pyramids has been postponed. Rahimo of Burkina Faso face Esperance de Tunis of Tunisia. Stade Abidjan face Petro Atletico of Angola. Colombe, who come from Comoros, face MC Alger. Imsingizini, I hope I got the name right. Imsingizini Hotspurs of Eswatini face Simba of Tanzania. And Saint Eloi Lupopo of DRC, they take on Orlando Pirates of South Africa. Remo Stars, yes, you remember Remo Stars? Hearts of Oak was supposed to play against Remo Stars. And Remo Stars, Michael, Remo Stars took on a Ghanaian team a year ago, 2 years ago.
Yep,
Midiama, yes, they played Midiama. I'm trying to remember. Yes, they take on Sundowns. Horoya of Guinea face FAR Rabat of Morocco. Vipers of Uganda, they are against Power Dynamos of Zambia. Nouadhibou, Mauritania, and Stade Malien of Mali. And that is that for this weekend's games in the CAF Champions League. It's just a pity that we don't have any Ghanaian clubs in the CAF Champions League anymore. Gold Stars were eliminated from that. Michael, I guess when you look at the picture in terms of the matches that will be played this weekend, and even if you want to stretch it to the two legs at this stage, it looks like this is where we'll start to see a lot of the stronger teams, a lot of the stronger teams progressing to the next stage of the competition. There might be an upset or two, but I guess we should expect to see a lot of the favorites and a lot of the stronger teams getting to qualify from this stage to the next phase of the competition.
Well, definitely. You expect that the usual big boys will dominate here. Alali, the FAR Rabat, Simba, Yanga, Esperance. They have played and understood what it takes to qualify from this stage. And people have most times raised arguments that how the qualification is structured is in a manner where it always favors the big boys. So can we do some sort of an arrangement that allows for some of the teams who are not really regulars in this competition to also get a chance to be making regular appearances? And we look at structuring the whole qualification phase into a zonal sort of a thing, like we do for the age limit competitions. And we look at revamping it, making sure that it has not always gone towards the established forces, and that new teams who are also starting their new projects can actually come in here and enjoy themselves. For instance, there was this Rwandan club, APR, invested much, but unfortunately they had to meet a big boy and they were eliminated right at the first round. And I think these kind of results or developments will kill investment and kill interest. Because if I have invested that much into my club, I expect to see them play at the top. And at times, the lack of a draw goes against some of these teams. So I think, maybe CAF will need to have a relook at the qualification structure and see if best they can try and do something about it. If it will be a regional thing, fine. If it will not, maybe we can look at some teams, qualify them straight to the group stage, like it is in Europe. In Europe, not all teams play qualifiers, and the qualification is mostly done with leagues that are not really high in terms of the ranking, and clubs who are not really high profile in terms of participating in the competition, which is the UEFA Champions League. And we look into something like that because Ethiopian Insurance will have to face Pyramid. Now just imagine. Pyramid have been very consistent. They have a heavy budget. They've been splashing the cash. And so whatever Ethiopian Insurance do, they will not be able to eliminate Pyramid. I know it is football, but the reality is that there is a huge gap between them. So clearly, CAF will need to look at this for the greater good of its own competition. Just as they had to look at the AFCON format and expand it and allow for countries that really would not have even stood a chance in times past, like Comoros, Madagascar, and the others, to enjoy what it takes to play at the AFCON. I think they can do similar. I know they are trying their best for sponsorship reasons, blah, blah, blah. But I think an expanded CAF Champions League would help, one, and then a revamped structure in terms of the qualification will also help, and then encourage the other clubs to work harder and then get to the top in terms of bridging the gap between themselves and then the top teams. That is one thing that can be considered. But conspicuously missing from the Confederation Cup and the Champions League are Cameroonian clubs. I don't know if you've noticed that.
Yes, I've gone through the fixture list. Yes, I didn't see any.
Exactly, and that is very worrying. And I don't know why, but it looks clearly like Eto is really not handling things well in this country. Maybe another time we'll get to have that conversation.
Well, very interesting point you've made. It's an interesting footnote we need to highlight. You know, when I guess when the group stage settles and we know who's in the group, then we can have that conversation. Because in times past, you'd have had Cotton Sport in the Champions League. I remember when Hearts of Oak were on their way to winning their debut, was it the Comfort Cup? They had a Cameroonian side. They had Sabul Debati, I think that the name was. Yeah, Sabul Debati. And, you know, you've had all kinds of interesting Cameroonian sides in the history of the competition. But in the last few years, they seem to have all gone under the radar. And they are not doing as well as would have expected them to do on the continent. So it's an interesting spot that you've made, Michael. We'll have to find out. Maybe speak with our Cameroonian friends to see what is going on. Because it's very interesting that a country that has a very strong footballing tradition is not getting proper representation on the continent at club level. And even at national team level, it's not even been the best of times for Cameroon. Their last AFCON 2017, and they've really struggled to make a proper impact in the competition ever since. So that's an interesting sport. I'm sure we'll talk about that more as we go along. For our listeners, if you have any comments, let us know. 054-257-1061. 054-257-1061. We will take some music. When we come back, we get into European football. There are some very interesting games on the menu. And then a little later before we leave, we'll do some amateur boxing. There's a very interesting event happening. It's happening this Sunday, the 19th of October at the Accra Sports Stadium car park. It's an amateur boxing event. We'll get into that. We'll get into that in a bit. But let's take some music. A few days ago, I had some new song sent to me. Young Pabi, wonderful rapper. Young Pabi's brought out a new one. He calls it the Recovery Flow. He's been quiet for a bit, but he's back. He says he's dropping some gems. So fresh off the stable, or fresh off the bakery, or fresh from the bakery, is this one from Young Pabi. He calls this one Recovery Flow. When we come back, we talk some more football. We go to Europe to talk some more football, and then we'll do some amateur boxing, and we'll be out of here. This is the Sporty Breakfast. Your comments are still welcome on 054-257-1061. Let's go.
This is Sporty FM, the voice of sport.
Yeah, we're looking for
Wonderful stuff. All right, let's talk about some European football now because the leagues are back. I know people are excited. Club football is back. Club football is back with a banger. In England, what is on the menu? Nottingham Forest versus Chelsea, starting us off on Saturday, 11:30. 2 p.m. Brighton, Newcastle, Burnley, Leeds, Palace, Bournemouth, Man City, Everton. Talking about Everton, Jordan Pickford has signed a new deal. And then Sunderland taking on Wolves. And then Fulham host Arsenal in the last game of the day, which is the 4:30 p.m. kickoff. And then on Sunday, Tottenham Hotspur hosts Aston Villa. And the big one, Liverpool hosting Manchester United at Anfield. Liverpool did not enjoy the games they played before the international break. They lost to Palace, lost to Chelsea, lost in the Champions League, but they have a chance to bounce back. And they don't need extra motivation because it's Manchester United who are coming to town. That should wake Liverpool up. Monday night is West Ham versus Brentford in a London derby. East London versus West London, happening at the Olympic Stadium. Michael Asabredu is still on the line. Michael, club football is back. Aren't we all happy?
Oh, definitely. We are excited about it. And you see, international football, I think for the October window, it was okay because there were a lot of teams qualifying from the African perspective. So it brought some kind of vibe with it. But generally, I think a lot of people will prefer their club football to international football. So clearly, yes, we are excited it is back. And what a way to welcome it. Liverpool versus Manchester United. Just the drama we were hoping for.
Liverpool go into the game needing a result because their last 3 games across all competitions have not ended well. They lost to Palace to start that run, lost in the league to Galatasaray, and then they lost at Chelsea. Esteval's last-minute winner, giving Chelsea 3 points over Liverpool. Liverpool were left empty-handed. Michael, I guess they don't need any other motivation, right? It is Man United who are coming to town. This should be enough to wake them up, play out a performance, and get all 3 points on the day.
And such as being Liverpool's dominance, that people were left a bit worried that they have lost back-to-back league games. If you had the Champions League, it was 3 consecutive losses. And I was just reading through the statistics via Opta, and it said that aside from the end of March days 1 and 2 of the Premier League this season, March day 7 was actually the first time in almost a year since March day 9 of the 2024-2025 season that Liverpool had not been top of the Premier League table at the conclusion of a game week. So it tells you of how consistent they have been. They went top after March day 10 last season in early November, and nobody caught them. They stayed top until the end of the campaign for the next 28 rounds of fixtures. So they've actually been a very consistent side. But I don't know if they've been able to sort out all the issues that affected them right before the international break. We've known right from the start of this season that Liverpool's defense is leaky. They are weaker as compared to last season. And I don't think that Arne Slot would be able to use the past days that we've gone for the international window to sort out the issues because, one, even if he's drawn up tactics to work with, the players he would have used to work out the routines were not available. The Liverpool players went on international duty. Their central defense, in terms of Van Dijk and Ibrahim Konate, were out on international duties with their respective sides. Milos Kerkesh, who was also with Hungary, Jeremy Frimpong, Conor Bradley, they were not available. So Liverpool wouldn't have the full complement of their squad to try out various formulas that the coaches will come up with. So I don't think their issues are sorted yet. So yet on paper, it is Manchester United coming down, but I don't know how they do it. But United have an interesting way of showing up in the big games. Last season, when everybody thought that they were going to be walloped at Anfield, they went there and secured a 2-2 draw. They've gone to Anfield in recent times, secured goalless draws and all that. So they're able to dig deep from within and then pull out a performance that nobody really expected and then they get their results. So yes, United have their own issues bedeviling them. Liverpool also have issues confronting them, and I think it will be about which team shows up. If the real Liverpool we've seen, as explosive as they are in terms of attack, shows up, but also with defensive issues, then I think United can capitalize. I don't think we've paid much attention, but United do really have an exciting attack. Brian Mbeumo, and then either Matheus Cunha or Mason Mount, whoever gets to play as the two double number 10s. And then in attack, Benjamin Sesko looks to have settled now. He scored in back-to-back Premier League games. It should be an exciting encounter. I will not look beyond Liverpool scoring at Anfield, but I also not look beyond Manchester United scoring. What I actually see in this game is a score draw. United score, Liverpool score, but I don't see either side outscoring the other. So a score draw is a game.
Well, quite interesting. What I will say is that you look at Liverpool and they have this tendency, and it's something I respect them for, the ability to rise to the occasion, play out a performance, and get a win. So I guess Man United will have to be very, very careful, right? Looking at Liverpool's form and all of that, because look, a very upset Liverpool can be a very dangerous Liverpool to play against. United lost 7-0 just about 2 to 3 years ago. So United need to understand where they are going, and they need to be very ready for a Liverpool onslaught. Even though last season, they didn't lose the game, but you always knew that Liverpool were always going to get something from that game. Even as Man United led 2-1, you just knew that Liverpool were not going to take it lying down. No, I think it was Liverpool that led 2-1 and United equalized. They are not going to take it lying down. So I will say that Man United need to be very wary of what Liverpool can do, especially as they seek to bounce back. And Anfield will be rocking and bouncing and all of that. So Man United need to be extremely careful. But in terms of the other games, Michael, Chelsea, they will be without Enzo Maresca. They go to Nottingham Forest to play the early game over the weekend. This was the ground where last season Chelsea secured their spot in the Champions League on final day, and they take on Forest, who don't look like the same team from last season. How would this one play out?
Paper it looks like, but in reality, it will not be also easy. And again, it's an early kickoff game, and these are matches that personally I try to skip because it comes with its own surprises and the upsets and everything that comes with the early kickoff matches. One, Nottingham Forest have not really got it going from the start of this season. I know people have tried to Ange Postecoglou and blame him as the major cause of their woes, but even before he came, they hadn't won a Premier League game under Nuno Espirito Santo. I don't know what happened, but I think some changes within the top structure has affected the team in a certain way. There was first that rift between the head coach then, Nuno Espirito Santo, and then Edu Gaspar, who was appointed sporting director. Then the rift escalated. It got to now the coach and the owner, Evangelos Marinakis. Then, unfortunately, he had to sack Nuno Espirito Santo. They were expecting that to come with a new bounce, and then Nottingham Forest would have turned around the corner. But it looks like things are still the same, and they've actually been worse since Nuno left. They've been conceding goals at the counter. They are not scoring that frequently, and I think they really have issues to sort out. Chelsea, as you mentioned, go into this game without Enzo Maresca, but they enter this game with a lot of confidence. And there were positives around Chelsea in terms of players not really showing up for international duty. Caicedo was allowed a period of rest by the Ecuadorian setup. Rich James put out of the English setup. He had to rest, and then they had to just coin it in a way that he has some minor injury issues and he will need to sort themselves out. So Chelsea were able to rest some players during the international window, and I think they should be good to go right from there. In my opinion, Nottingham Forest have a playing squad that is capable of pulling fire from pulling the chestnut from the fire, and then really worrying Chelsea. I think they have it within their playing body. An excellent lineup of attackers who on any given day, if one of them decides to show up, it will really worry this Chelsea defense that have had issues in terms of consistency and also performance. So yes, Nottingham can hurt Chelsea. But the reality is, are they a well-coached team? And I think no. Kotoko is still trying to find out something that works, and Chelsea can capitalize on that. It's a game that I don't see Chelsea losing, but it won't be that easy. It has the feel of a potential banana skin all around it, and I would not be surprised if Chelsea do not win. But I think I'll be very surprised if they lose to Nottingham Forest. So I'm expecting the Chelsea win or a draw in this encounter.
Well, talking about Chelsea, Enzo Maresca has indicated that Cole Palmer will be out for a few more weeks, and he did say that he'll be out for 6 more weeks. That's a huge blow to Chelsea, especially in an attacking sense. In that period, who do you think should step up? What do you think Maresca can do to ensure that this team can still create and still be a problem in an attacking sense?
Palmer's injury is actually a big blow, as you rightly mentioned. He's been Chelsea's most important player for goals and assists and even for chance creation. Whenever he's in the team, he makes them tick. Their movement in the forward areas, and then he is mostly involved in either the second phase of a build-up, trying to fashion out a chance to attack an opponent. So his absence will be a heavy blow. But Chelsea have tried to cope without him. This season, Palmer has not really had that impact on the Chelsea side. The game he played, actually, in the game against Crystal Palace, his influence waned as the minutes grew. And so I don't expect that they really depended on him this season. He's been an important player, yes, right from the Club World Cup. But at the start of the season, it has not been Cole Palmer's season. I don't think he's hit his peak in terms of his physical fitness yet. And the injury has also taken him out of the team. Chelsea tried to cope with different combinations. There were times where they had to play João Pedro as the number 10, and then they will push Estevao to the right wing. So depending on how Chelsea play and who they face, they've always found a way to make things work. And I trust Enzo Maresca to come out with a tactical formation play that will also not really make them miss Cole Palmer, especially in games like this. The biggest issue for Chelsea, for me, is their lack of defensive options. But I think in the attacking areas, they do have names who, although won't play exactly as Palmer plays, but I think with the right structure and the right principles of play, they should be able to cover for what Palmer contributes to this team. Chance creation, I think there are players in there to try and then do that for him. Whether they are creating from the right channel, there is Pedro Neto, there is Estevao. From the central areas, there is Enzo Fernandez, and also there is João Pedro. From the left, Chelsea have Jamie Bino Gittins, although he's not hit the ground running. And also they have Tyreek George, and they have a couple of other players who can also do a solid job. So I think in the offensive areas, Chelsea are well covered to deal with the absence of Cole. My worry is their defensive areas, where players will likely not be available. And that is one key thing of Chelsea's play. Their build-up, starting from the back. And in the game against Liverpool, it was very pivotal. The role played by Benoit Badiashile, a lot of the Chelsea fans were stunned that he was actually the one doing that. On the ball, his passing range was excellent. He was able to pick passes easily, and he was breaking the Liverpool lines of defense. Then without the ball, he also helped to defend excellently. And he made the Chelsea fans not miss him like Levi Colwill. But is Badiashile fit? Is he ready to continue from where he left off? Because he was a player who has not really showed consistency. Today, he shows up. The next day, he's off. And he's not really giving you that kind of performance you expect. So there are a lot of question marks around the Chelsea defense and the kind of combinations that will likely start. But I think in the offensive areas, they do have the numbers. They do have the technical team to draw up a plan to cope in the absence of Cole Palmer. So yes, in as much as he's a very important player, I still think Chelsea can cope minus Cole Palmer in a game against Nottingham Forest.
Okay, there'll be bigger and tougher tests. Let's wrap up the Premier League watch with Fulham's home game against Arsenal. Arsenal are going there top of the table. They are hoping to win, but Arteta has been speaking on a number of things. So Martin Odegaard, as we know, is out for between 6 to 8 weeks. Pero and Kapia is returning to training after a groin issue. Apart from that, there aren't any major challenges in terms of injury. But Victor Gyökeres hasn't scored in 6 games for Arsenal, and he didn't score in his last 2 games for Sweden either. Alarm bells. Should Arsenal fans be worried? Is it just a phase? Where exactly are we with Victor Gyökeres?
Many expected that he will hit the ground running right from the start, judging by his scoring exploits in Portugal. But the Premier League is different gravy. It is a very, very tough competition, very physical as well. And although Gyökeres has had a taste of English football before, I don't think he's really gone full throttle in the Premier League. So he would need to settle, he would need to adapt to his new environment, he need to understand how this Arsenal team will play. But I think he might not seem not getting enough goals. He's not really been bad in terms of his overall involvement in this game. And I say this because he has made more of the ball runs into the opposition box, 49 of them, than any other player in the Premier League this season. So yes, it is about a case of synergy, the understanding that exists between himself and the other attacking players. And don't forget, Arsenal have not had the luxury of having consistent players in the attacking areas. Arteta has had to rotate at various points in time due to varying reasons. There are times where injuries to players like Odegaard and Bukayo Saka means that we would have to start players who are not familiar with the Arsenal lineup. And Chiesa is still a new player. He's not really, yes, he's played well, he's done well, but he's a new player who has yet to really settle and become that Arsenal player. There was Noni Madueke at a point in time. On the left, there has been Gabriel Martinelli, there has been Leandro Trossard. So the Arsenal attacking lineup has been changing as and when. And Gyökeres will need time to kind of draw up that chemistry that will exist between them so that when he's making these runs, these players can pick something off him and then play the balls to a position where he will likely like or desire, so he can be able to aim these shots at goal. So in essence, I think Arsenal's greater strength this time will not be to rely on individual players. And that is how come, even when the likes of Gyökeres has not really turned up, in a season where Saka has had his run hiccuped by injury, I still think they proved very well. And I think Arsenal's major strength this season will be their strength in depth. They've had a very tough start to the campaign, but they've handled themselves very, very well. They've played Liverpool, they've played Manchester United, all in away games. They faced Newcastle. Their recent trips to the St. James had been a very difficult one for them. But in their last trip there, they won against all. So you would have to know that something has changed around this Arsenal team. And so if Gyökeres is not performing, I expect the other players to set up. They are strength in depth, that squad in depth, the quality in depth. I think it should be able to cover for where players are not turning up, where players have lost form, and I think they should be ready to go. Against Fulham, it is one of those games that really affected Arsenal's inability to win the league title in previous seasons. They've done the hard work by going through that stretch, and they still lead by a point. I think on the evidence of what they've done, they should get the results against Fulham. And I also say this because of their defensive record. Arsenal boasts the best defense in the Premier League this season. They've considered just 3 goals. And if you check their SG in terms of goal concession, that is 4.36. And they've considered 3 in reality. So it means they have overperformed in terms of their expected goals conceded by 1.3. And that is because of the goalkeeper, David Raya, and also the defensive lineup that has been set up ahead of him. The defensive pair of Gabriel Magalhaes and William Saliba, very consistent. But the deep squad that Arsenal has means that they can choose to change in terms of a defensive shape and they will still not be affected. So kudos to them. I think, to me as it stands now, they are the favorites for the title, how things have traveled. And for them to rubber stamp that, for them to cement that, they will need to win games like an away trip at the Craven Cottage against Fulham. So I would not look beyond anything but an Arsenal win. I think it will be a difficult game because Marco Silva knows how to prepare his teams for when the big boys come to town. But trust me, Arsenal have enough in their tank to go to the Craven Cottage and then win against this Fulham.
Well, we'll see how Arsenal fare. In times past, Craven Cottage would have been a very tricky place, but Arsenal seem to be navigating some of these games with a bit more ease and a bit more finesse and stuff. To Spain and the full fixture list, Real Oviedo taking on Espanyol. We hope that Kwesi Ball gets some minutes. Sevilla face Mallorca. Barcelona take on Girona. Villarreal face Betis. Atletico Madrid face Osasuna. Elche take on Athletic Bilbao. Celta Vigo face Real Sociedad. Levante take on Rayo Vallecano. Getafe at home to Real Madrid. That's on Sunday at 7. And then on Monday night is Alaves taking on Valencia. That's how it looks like in Spain. If we go to Italy, the fixture list: Lecce versus Sassuolo, Pisa take on Verona, Torino at home to Napoli, AS Roma and Inter. And Michael, just snappy thoughts on this. Roma, they at home taking on Inter Milan. Inter Milan are gradually beginning to pick up the pieces and get into some good form. This weekend is another tricky one. They go to Roma to face Gianpiero Gasperini for the first time this season in the Italian Serie A.
Between the two teams, between the last 9 games, has seen one side winning. It has never ended in a draw, but Inter have actually dominated. In their last 9, they've won 7, and then they've lost 2. But you have to look at this Roma team, a well-built side, and it looks like they are carrying off from where Claudio Ranieri left off, and Gasperini has had a good run. I think the only blemish will be a disappointing loss at home. I think to Torino, I stand to be corrected. That was the only blemish for them in terms of their home games. And then in the Europa League, where they disappointed against this French side, Lille. So clearly, Roma are doing well, and they want to continue from there. Gasperini has always really hurt this Inter team when it's hard to play them, whether he's in charge of Palermo, whether he's in charge of Atlanta. And I think he will do similar with this Roma team. Roma have quality, judging by the players that they have available and not on the injury table. They should be able to really, really hurt the Inter Milan team. For Inter, they are also looking like they've recovered from whatever thing hurt them. That was at the start of the campaign. Now, Kibu seems to know his team, and he can rotate and still get the result. There are times where Marcos Thuram does not play, and Yohan Boni steps up, and then he delivers, which is quite different from last season, where Mehdi Taremi failed to settle in as a second striker to Marcos Thuram, and in most of the opportunities he was offered, he fluffed it. So I think with the way that Boni has started, it should be good enough that even when Marcos Thuram is not available or not fully fit, he can step in and do a job. And he also knows the league very well due to his days at Parma. So clearly, it should be good to go. I expect a very interesting game, a tantalizing one. Both teams getting in on a scoring at, and likely that one side will win. It could go for Roma, it could go for Inter. This is one of those games where you can't actually tell until the game has commenced, and then you study the pendulum swings and everything. So one side will likely win in this encounter.
We'll see how it plays out. In other games, Como at home to Juventus, Cagliari face Bologna, Genoa take on Parma, Atalanta hosts Lazio, AC Milan hosts Fiorentina. Milan are also going through their own very interesting run with their team, and then Cremonese face Udinese. All right, I forgot to run through the Ghana Premier League games. Let me touch on them quickly, and then we do some amateur boxing, and then we call it a morning. Dreams and Nations are playing. Mediama hosts Samatex. Vision travel to Bechem. Brekum Chelsea hosts Accra Hearts of Oak. Let's see if Hearts will keep their unbeaten run going in the league. They take on their former manager, Samuel Boedu. That should be an interesting one. Hohoe United welcome Mediana Stars. Swedru All Blacks host Holy Stars. Bibiani Gold Stars host Hearts of Lions. And 11 Wonders host Karela. Asante Kotoko are not in action because they are playing in the CAF Comfort Cup. Michael, just to wrap up with you, what is the standout game this weekend and your thoughts on that game in about a minute.
Sporty FM.
Chelsea has a hope. Chelsea have not really had a good run in their recent home games against us, and they want to end that jinx. They've really not recorded positive results when they've come up against Accra as a folk. They want to break that. Samuel Bredu has not beaten his former side since he joined Brecum Chelsea. He will want to end it. And judging by how Chelsea lost in their game against Asante Kotoko, they will not love another big team to come to the Golden City Park and then beat them. And if you look at Chelsea, in their last two games, they look to have recovered from their early season slump. They lost to Kotoko without scoring. They went to Swedro, they were beaten 3-0. And then they recovered by beating Oli Stars 2-0 at the Golden City Park. And in their last game, they went to Tamale to draw against Inform Karela United. So I think they are about discovering their form. Prince Anane has started scoring. Kwesi Sorutu scored for them as well. So, yes, they are recovering. And I think they will give us a tough run. Have also not really had a good run of form. The only teams they've scored against them in the league, if you check, are in the relegation zone.
Yeah.
Baseke Holy Stars. 11 Wonders. And then Dreams FC. And after these games, Hearts have failed to score in the other 3 matches after 5 matches played. Check, they played against Hohoe United. It was 0-0. They drew goalless with Hearts of Lions in their last game. And in between, there was a draw that they got away from home against Bechim. So Hearts also have their own issues to sort out. They have one of the best defenses in the league. They've not conceded a goal, but scoring looks like a problem for them. So these two teams have their own issues to sort out, and I think it should be an exciting game. The midfield of Chelsea versus the midfield of Hearts. I think Chelsea will play well. They will dominate. That is what I envisage. And then on Monday too, there is Gold Stars versus Heart of Lions. That should be exciting. But I think there will be enough time to talk about it on Monday.
Monday we'll deal with that. We'll deal with that. Michael, let me thank you so much. We'll speak again soon. It's a busy weekend. We'll be keeping an eye on Asante Kotoko and other things. Monday, we'll be back here to pick apart everything that has happened, and then we'll give our listeners some great insight into the games and results from over the weekend. All right, Michael, thank you so much. That was my colleague, Michael Asaribodu, joining us from Kumasi. Your comments are welcome. 054-257-1061. 054-257-1061. As promised, we'll talk some amateur boxing. I've been joined in studio by Charles Jojo Efsin. He is the administrative officer at the Ghana Boxing Federation, or the Ghana Amateur Boxing Federation. Jojo, good morning. Welcome.
Good morning. Good morning, Nathan.
How are you doing?
I'm doing better.
I see. Great. I also have Ernest Ofori, a.k.a. Gaddafi. He is the secretary of the United Boxing Coaches Association of Ghana, and he's an assistant trainer at the Charles Quarte Boxing Foundation. Ernest, good morning. How are you doing? Welcome to Sporty FM.
Good morning, my brother, and it's a privilege to be here.
Wonderful. We'll get to, there's an event that's happening, a very important event. We'll get to that in a second. But how is amateur boxing? Very often we talk a lot about the pro side, right? Talk a lot about the pro side. We don't often talk about the amateur side. How is that terrain looking like? Jojo and then Gaddafi. I don't know whoever wants to take this, but where are we now? What's the status of amateur boxing? How is it looking like? What's happening?
Yeah, so Nathan, let me bout off or start a punching. As it is, amateur boxing is, Ghana's most successful discipline on international major circuit. The figures and the records are there for everybody to see. Mm-hmm. But as a country, we've not really, supported and taken amateur boxing seriously at all. The only thing people pay attention is when there's an opportunity to travel to the Commonwealth Games, the Olympics Games, and all those things. That's why you see the so-called big men, following the thing, John. Oh yes, and no funding, nothing. They don't care about it, absolutely nothing. But I'm not necessarily here, to bash them. So, like you asked, yes, the year under review, after unable to qualify for the Olympics, the Ghana Boxing Federation organized, a training course for the coaches, IBA Star 1 and Star 2 courses for them, and also referees and judges build their capacity and prepare them. We were supposed to organize a national individual championship, in November, to select the nucleus of the national boxing team that will prepare for upcoming major international competitions, which will start with the Commonwealth Games, then see how best we can fare our chances going to the Los Angeles 2028 Olympics Games. As I speak now, the challenge is about funding. And like I said, Ghanaians, the states, everybody care less about amateur boxing. The only thing they will hear is when it is time for a major competition. That's why we see people from whatever, be state institution or those things, with their passport, with their jacket and all those things, following up the team. And when they go and we may match, then you see them at the forefront of the cheering group, Jama, here and there. But they never know how things are cooked. When Samotechi won with a broken hand, breaking the nation's 29 years medal drought, that is why you saw all manner of people at the airport. But they didn't know how Samotechi hustled. We bought food and everything on credit. Even the accommodation where he slept and all, they didn't know, right? 2022, when we went to win the country's most valuable medal at the Commonwealth Games, Birmingham, where Joseph Kony, even at last minute, have to develop convulsion. Abraham Mensah won silver. Walid Omar and all those things. People don't know what went to it. The only time they come is, and now we are going to Olympics, Commonwealth Games next year. Looking at the statistics and all those things, and looking at what is happening on the international with the ranking and all those things, still is that mature boxing that have the prospect to go and win something for the country. But we speak now, there's no plan. That's why I feel livid that people try to undermine the activities of the Amateur Boxing Federation. They don't pump in money and all those things. So our own efforts has brought us this. That's the road to Ghana, boxing gala. That's a club in France, through a gym in Accra, Bukom Boxing Gym, are bringing these French people. And they are coming to help us with a lot of things. They are arriving tonight, 6 p.m. And tomorrow, there's going to be a sparring session, fraternization, sparring, exchange of skills and ideas, culture and sporting regarding between the boxing community and the French, entourage. And in the afternoon, at the Accra Sports Media Center, there's going to be a medical and anti-doping seminar that they are sponsoring. And we are arranging with top-notch doctors in this country with ideas, not just any doctor, right? To be involved for the lecturers, because the French, the language might be a barrier. I mean, maybe you need your services as well. You are a man of international pedigree. Speak a lot of languages. I'm actually proud of you in that regard. So, yes, tomorrow we have that. And when we do that, knowing the situation in which we find ourselves now, with regards to the kind of fatalities that we've, suffered in recent times. So it's good for our coaches to know those bases and know how best to impart them at the various gyms and all those things. And in the same vein too, they are coming up with some goodies for our gyms and all those things. Medicines and all those things. And we are taking advantage too. Now, the issue now that is at stake, which people are trying to use personal scores instead of us to, agree, jaw on it, is that on Sunday, we actually schedule to have a bout involving the French contingent and then a selected side of the national youth team, including those who went to win the gold at Guinea-Conakry African Youth Boxing Championship, and then the remnant of the national boxing team, to engage in this thing. Now, looking at the times in which we are, where a kind of boxing, not amateur boxing anyway, let us be clear in that regard. Amateur boxing has not been suspended or has not been touched, because it's just a 3-round. When we follow all the medical protocols, we do HIV, hepatitis B, we will scan the brain, check their cardio and all those things to see if they are very good, And even during the bout, we've been doing, and after the bout, we will be still be checking up. Then we will go in for the bout. But there's a concern which has been raised, and we have agreed to it that we are going to have an exhibition bout which will not have any scoring effect.
Okay.
But yet still, people who think they have to be at the forefront, you know, and they, because they are not there, and they see others to be taking the shine, which shine even they don't contribute to, because we made them think. They didn't even contribute a dime to whatever program we are doing. It's everything is coming from the Boxing Federation. The French are buying their own how do you call it, tickets. They've sold their accommodation. They are staying for security reasons. I don't know if I can.
No,
share it.
you shouldn't state.
They have done everything. We are only managing to feed our boxers, get the necessary ground ready and all those things. You know, boxing have its own capital intensive this thing. So lighting, everything is in place. So we are supposed to, and we are still talking. And when it's done, it will be confirmed. Tomorrow evening, just after the Kotoko game, at the Accra Sports Stadium car park, there's going to be an exhibition bout between the team, the French team, and then the Ghanaian selected national team and the youth team, including juveniles and youth and elite amateur boxers. No professional boxing in that regard. Follow all the medical protocols have been established with regards to internationally accepted standard, because we are law abiding. Okay. And I'm a critical person, so I will not do anything wrong. Okay. So yes, tomorrow is happening, and this is it. For anyone who thinks he can thwart any effort of the Boxing Federation or make things difficult for us to develop amateur boxing in the country, please.
You write your note.
Gaddafi, I mean, Jojo is very involved. You are equally involved. You are, if I say more hands-on, maybe it will be a little unfair. But you are a coach, you know. Tell, from your own perspective, what's the situation? What's the picture? If you are to paint the picture of amateur boxing, where are we? What are the good parts, the bad parts, and what can we do going forward?
Yeah, I can see my senior brother Jojo is on fire.
Yeah,
he has put out a lot of things, and I'm very, very happy, because I always say that it gets to a point in one man's life that he needs to take the bull by the horn and then try to get things going. Boxing itself in Ghana is in a mess.
Wow.
Not only amateur boxing. And it's good we are talking about amateur boxing, because I always say that amateur boxing is the basic foundation of boxing. Okay. If we have good amateur boxing, automatically the professional ends benefits from it. And so the moment you have bad things going on at amateur level and it's not well structured and things are not working, you end up having poor professional boxers, because a good amateur boxer, when he transitions to the professional ranks, will always exhibit good boxing skills, good ringmanship and all that. I can see that because of the issues that we had at the professional end, which brought in the Amaka Field Committee and the subsequent passing of Baobali and the National Sports Authority in conjunction with the ministry decided to suspend boxing activities. I was one of the people that was going all over the media space, and I was questioning it, because when I look at the statement itself, I felt there was a problem with it, because they said that they've suspended all boxing activities. So I had the privilege to meet the minister, and we asked him that specific question: has boxing in its entirety been suspended in Ghana? They said no. Yawa Pofanka is on record that boxing in its entirety is not on suspension, and that it is the professional end of boxing that they are trying to streamline things and make sure that we don't keep doing the same things and expect that we are going to have a different results. And so for me, I was of the view that amateur boxing was going to go on with at least better enhancement. But little did I know that the current IMC that has been put in place to make sure that things are streamlined is trying to take over amateur boxing as well.
How so? How?
Yes, I know that the Bukom Boxing Gym, in conjunction with a gym in France, is organizing a bilateral game, which is something that we as a state should always encourage. Because look, I say that when you are in class school A, and you are always on top of the class, you are always doing well in your school, and you don't compete among other schools, you may think you are the best. Until you get opportunity to meet with other schools, you realize that, look, there are certain things you need to keep working on. So we can't keep competing among ourselves and think that we are going to produce any miracle. Because at the end of the day, our boys are going to compete at the international level, and they have to get exposure. they must meet equally good boxers at other jurisdictions to be able to perform when they get to the bigger platforms. But here is the situation that our amateur boxers don't get to perform, don't get to go to any training tour, don't compete among their peers in other jurisdictions, and then we take them all the way to Commonwealth Games, Olympic Games, and we think we are going to come home with good results. It doesn't work this way. And so with the Bukon gym and the Ghana Boxing Federation in conjunction with the gym from the French side that is trying to put this show together, I thought it was only
mention their name.
What's their name? Yeah.
Boxing Club Dries.
I don't
know.
Yes, so that's
a Frenchman.
Yes. So if a gym in Ghana in conjunction with the Ghana Boxing Federation can bring such a thing to Ghana, why won't we as a state, come in and try to support it rather than trying to show that, we are the people, we are the IMC, we are the big men, we call the shots, we are going to, we'll make sure it doesn't work because we believe that they are going to do professional boxing on the day. If you believe they are going to do professional boxing, just send your supervisors there. Make sure professional boxing is not part of the program, but don't tout the effort of these people. I learned the French are always airborne, they are on their way, they'll be arriving tonight, and the rumors we are hearing is that the show is not going to happen. For Christ's sake, what are we doing to boxing? And you are telling me you have suspended boxing in Ghana, but this is the situation that we have boxers who are traveling all the way to Nigeria, to Tanzania, to Morocco, by the same IMC that has been put in place to make sure that boxing is suspended. Just recently, about a week ago, we have about 5 Ghanaian boxers under this current IMC that have gone to Tanzania, Nigeria, and Morocco, and none of them won. Because the story is not going to change. We are the NSA boss, the sports minister must get to know of this, that you don't put great men and form a committee and think that all of a sudden boxing is going to be better. The issue surrounding boxing is about safety.
Okay.
So why are we not dealing with safety? Is Azuma Nelson going to stop people from dying in the ring? Is Mr. Samuel Captain going to stop people from dying in the ring? It is about safety. And so let the people who have been trained, those who have the knowledge when it comes to safety, take their jobs and do their jobs. How is it done in other jurisdictions? Boxers go through comprehensive medicals, their brain, their heart, and everything is scanned. When they are fit, they are declared medically fit to box for 1 year or 6 months. We don't do comprehensive medical for every bout. It is not done anyway. And how do you call it? Azuma Nelson, when he was fighting, he wasn't doing comprehensive medical every day. I have traveled across. I've been to so many places. We do boxing. I've been at the highest stage in boxing. It is not done the way they want to do it. You can't keep doing MRI every single bout. You can't pay for it. You can't pay for it. Okay. Boxing is in a mess.
Okay.
Jojo, and now, this is a state that does not fund sports. And yesterday, when we were looking around for the medical expenses and all those things, the doctor said MRI for each boxer is 25,000 Ghana cedis.
For each boxer?
Yes.
25,000.
And this is the Ghana Boxing Federation, which does not generate income. Myself, my communication, administrative work is voluntary.
For it.
It's voluntary. I rather go and look for sponsors and all those things for them. And the people sitting on committee are
getting per diem.
Are going to take per diem.
You are not paying any. Look, you see, why intriguing thing is that you have the whole Ghana Boxing Authorities board working, they don't get anything. And all of a sudden, we said we want to make Ghana better, boxing in Ghana better. We form an IMC that are taking per diems. And we the boxers themselves. Look, most of these boxers that you see, some are into land guards and into all manner of things. It is the gyms. The owners of the gyms in the slums, they have taken these boys upon themselves. I always use my boss, Sporty, as an example. This is a man who was a former national team captain, he was a military man, traveled all the way to the United States, stayed there for 10 years, came back to Ghana and said, look, I'm not going back to the United States. I'm going to set up a gym at Timber Market around Agbogboshi area. Let me take these boys from the street. Let me try and help them. But today you are telling this man that we've suspended boxing, all these children, what are you expecting him to do with these boys? How is he going to take care of these boys? Because these boys have been taught how to hit and not get hit. These boys have been taught how to harm people. If you don't get them back in the ring, where do you think they are going to channel their energies to? Very soon we'll be in our homes, and these boys, you can imagine a boxer with gun. Can you imagine a boxer with a gun? How are we going to survive in this country? And everybody is so quiet because everybody feels like, no, you are young. You don't have to talk. Keep quiet. If you talk, people will say you are too no. You are this. But it is time for us to talk because as a young man that I'm doing boxing, I don't have any other job that I do. I do boxing 24/7. Who is going to feed my family? If you suspend boxing for 5 months, who is going to support my family? If the issue is about us making sure that boxers are properly medically taken care of prior and after bout, let's get the system running. Let's support the system, because if MRI is costing 25,000 Ghana cedi, how are you expecting me as a trainer to go and scan somebody's head 25,000 Ghana cedi when I don't have 10,000 Ghana cedi? So how is the state going to support us? These are the rare issues we need to be talking about and see how best we can. How was the IMC giving sanctioning letters and release letters to boxers to go and fight in Morocco? What were they doing before they were sent to those missions? So if they can do their medicals and get released and go and fight in Tanzania, in Morocco, in Nigeria, why can't we do the same medicals in Ghana and kickstart our boxing? Boxing that we are doing in Ghana is far better than boxing that is being done in Nigeria. Boxing that we are doing in Ghana is far better than what is done in Tanzania. It is far better than what is done in Morocco. And I'm telling you that on authority, because I have been there. I have seen it. At Tanzania, the place that we do boxing in Ghana, when you go there, it is like Mecca. When you go to Tanzania, where they do their boxing, it's like Kaneshi Market. You see the way the Kaneshi Market is? That's where they do their boxing, on the top floor. That's where they do their biggest boxing. And so if you tell me that you can give release letters to boxers to go and fight in Tanzania, but those same boxers cannot fight in Ghana, and Boxrec has suspended Ghanaian boxing activities. All promoters are not doing anything. Coaches are not doing anything. Boxers are not doing anything. And you tell me you are working to make boxing better. How is that better? Who can convince me in his right senses that suspending boxing and putting in place an IMC with some questionable characters is going to solve boxing?
But okay, so let's just pause for. I just want to understand. So your issue with the IMC is what? That they are not focusing on the right things, or the wrong.
The issue with our issue with the IMC is that if boxing has been suspended, let it be suspended. Let us know the timelines. We are suspending boxing for 1 month, and we did this 1 month. These are the modalities we are putting in place for people to follow, so that we can reopen boxing. 2, if the IMC currently can be allowing boxers to fight in other jurisdictions that Ghana is better than, how are they doing it? What miracle are they putting in place that is making boxers to be able to fight in Nigeria, but they cannot fight in Ghana? So our problem is, if you have suspended boxing, let us know it has been suspended for everybody. Not that some people can be sneaking in and out and be making their money, taking care of their family, while we are suffering. All those who are moving about, going to Nigeria and Tanzania and they were fighting, they are making money for their families. They are feeding their families. Why can't we feed our families? They go on meetings, take per diems to feed their families. How are we supposed to feed our families? So this is the problem we have with the IMC. IB Kwate, Azuma Nelson, Mr. Same Captain, these are great men. These are our fathers. But it is time we look them in the face and tell them that, seniors, you got to do what you got to do for us to survive. We need to survive as well.
Okay.
So Nathan, this is the background to the whole thing. Like I mentioned earlier on, actually the committee as it is does not have any mandate to do anything with amateur boxing. But it is the Director General, with voice and evidence to back it, who directed that out of respect we should liaise with them. So we wrote a letter to them. The letters we write to them, they have a liaison officer who in itself have some kind of question marks around him, because we write a letter to him, then you link it to the media and do propaganda with it,
because his boss is standing elections.
We took, I mean, that's a professional. So that one is your case. I'm not part of your professional.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
So now let me come here. No, let me come. Gaddafi, let me come in. So you look at it. Then they invited us. We went. We engaged them and explained ourselves. They are taking a trained position. The only place they look at is they see a professional boxer with artwork in it. That's their. And we said no. We are not doing professional. The whole thing is about amateur. They will stand on it. The next thing they will do is they will look at another issue with it. Even this artwork that we are posting on this thing, they have issue with it.
Yes.
And I told them it's an amateur boxing, for God's sake. They should go to our social media handles. You cannot go and withdraw it. Then, as usual of mavericks and people who are destined to destroy things, they will find another thing.
Yes.
So yesterday I was point blank. There were ex-military officers there, lawyers, people of pedigree. And I told them I'm also a great man in my own right.
Yes.
I told them point blank, because the sacrifices we make for the sustenance and development of the game, you guys have done your part. With all due respect to Azuma Nelson, who I grew up from the age of 8 watching at Mamprobi, he kept quiet and he was looking at the whole thing. So we consulted His Excellency Amaka Amatefio, who is an epitome of boxing in Ghana. And he told them point blank that amateur boxing has not been suspended. They agreed to it. When they went to their caucus again, they changed their mind. So this morning, Amaka Amatefio is calling for them to tell them
The French
you get the
are
point.
on their way. They are coming here.
Okay.
They are here by tonight.
The accommodation is booked.
How can you tell me you want to destroy this project? How can you destroy this project?
Okay, gentlemen. So where we are now, are we having this event or not?
It is happening.
It's happening because Amaka Matefio has intervened, and the minister has also given his green light. But we want official notification. But it's happening because once the people touch down,
it's
happening. I get it. What I will say is that so you are saying the minister has given the green light. His Excellency Amaka Matefio has also backed it more or less.
Yes.
So from this, it means that you need to get the green light from the
it's an official. Oh, no, we don't have anything to do with them.
You don't have
We are not part of this. We are just going there because of respect.
Okay.
And that respect, the point is that respect is earned. But if you are not ready to submit yourself and then earn the respect,
you not earn it.
You will not be given it.
So
because like I said, they are great men in their own right. But I here am also someone in my own by definition.
No problem. So who do you need? Whose approval will put all this debate to an end?
Well, it's essentially Amaka Matefio, who is a diplomat by excellence, just like yourself. Because you are chatting the part.
I'm not a diplomat.
You are chatting the part because you could speak about 5 international languages. So I have that regard for you. Now, his minister, he advised the minister, and it is his advice that this committee came. It is his finding that this committee came, right? So when we have the official notification from the minister, then Amaka Matefio, who we are meeting very soon, then that's official notification comes that no amount of subterfuge or attempt to draw things back can bring the the program down. It's coming on because the French are arriving, their hotel is booked, whatever. They are airborne, so they are the medicals and anti-doping workshop that is coming on tomorrow. Will come on at the Accra Sports Stadium Media Center. They will fraternize with the boxing this thing. The concern we have is the bout that exhibition bout that we want to have. It's not a serious bout. It's an exhibition bout. When they talk about exhibition bout, it's just a friendly match.
Yeah.
It's off record.
Yeah.
You get the point? It's off record. So that so-called this thing that someone did not train this thing. And the concern about Sporty, this is a man who is a national trainer. He's the only boxer in his days who beat Buko Banku, beat him like his own baby. He went to the Commonwealth Games, Olympic Games and all those things. He is a military man. He has been a coach. He has stayed in the game. He trained an assistant coach who took boxers to African Youth Championship in Guinea-Conakry, won 3 gold medals out of 3. 3 boxers, 3. Recently, he took our boxers to African School Championship in Algeria. They came out with medals. So if such a person, we have selected a team for him because the immediate past head coach, because I'm saying immediate past because his tenure as head coach, his tenure at National Sports Authority, he has gone on retirement. The federation gave him an extension which expired in May. So as you see now, there's vacant. So if Sporty have been selected to lead the team, there's no question mark about.
There's a lot of sabotage in the system, and when people are placed in high positions, one thing they ought to know is that you don't use your position to settle personal scores. Try to undermine people.
Okay.
Because God, in His own rights and His own wisdom, blesses people who He wants to bless.
Okay.
If it is time for Sporty to lead a team that will represent Ghana,
and if that is not
it is not a competition between coaches.
And even that is not the aim of the federation,
for sure,
of appointing Sporty immediately. But in the interim, because he have a great setup, a gym. I don't know if you've been there before.
No, I don't think I've.
It's a foundation where even any expatriate that comes, that's why they go and do their documentary. It's on CNN, it's on this thing. And he have built all our youth teams. So it's just an interim arrangement for him to get this, do exhibition. Do you get my point? And let me emphasize here again, as I speak, with all the authority that is conferred on me by the Ghana Boxing Federation as a communication officer and administration officer, we still don't have a national team coach because after the Olympics Games and the Commonwealth qualifiers and all those things, they revoke everything. And those in charge now, the senior 2 most coaches, Asari and then Coach Latte Latte, they are tenure with National Sports Authority as a spy. They are over 60 years. And now we have IBA Star 4. Those are the people who are supposed to handle national team now. You cannot go and take. I mean, if you want to be a national team coach at Blasters, you need to have a FIFA Pro license. Is that not it?
Yeah.
But if you have a Star 3, you are not. You seem not to be there. So the requirement to get Ghana boxing back to the days now that we are coming to open up. If you don't have the Star 3 and maybe you are about a certain age, you might not be qualified.
Okay. So as we wrap up, let's just go back to basics. So this said event is happening when? Tomorrow.
Tomorrow. The French are arriving today. So I'm inviting your producers to be at the airport. I'll call them personally. Imota and then my friend Ayanga.
Okay.
To be at the airport. We welcome the French with our traditional and then usual Ghanaian, Jama and all those things. Tomorrow we take them to where they will rest. Tomorrow they will fraternize with the boxing community at Bukom gym over there. They will do sparring. When you talk about sparring, I think I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah.
And they will find and all those things. Serve them with some kenke and shito, red lobster and all those things. Then from there, in the afternoon, we come to the sports stadium and the seminar will be done with medical experts, top notch, not just anyone.
Okay.
On anti-doping, medical, safety in the ring, gyms, and general, all those things. If you have time, please, you can equally pass by.
Okay.
Then on Sunday, which we are going to now seek official this thing for the exhibition bout at the Accra Sports Stadium. So this is it. All those who finish watching the Kotoko game, which we pray Kotoko win anyway. You know where I belong. Go home. I pray that Kotoko wins anyway.
The people will not go home. They
so,
will stay there.
So they stay and come to the car park. Then we also
win by
have the exhibition bout. It's an exhibition bout. Exhibition bout means something to entertain.
Yeah.
Not rigorous. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Wonderful. So, listeners, if you are in town, if you go to watch the Asante Kotoko game, do spend a few more hours watching a boxing gala. It's an exhibition between the Black Bombers and Black Rockets, and then the boxing club from France, Boxing Club Drouet. That's the name, Boxing Club Drouet. And all of that is happening. It's all part. So today there's an event. Today they're arriving. Yeah. Tomorrow there's a seminar for coaches and boxers and all on anti-doping and all of that. And then Sunday there's that exhibition bout. Wonderful. Guys, thank you so much for passing through Ernest Ofori, aka Gaddafi. He's the secretary of the United Boxing Coaches Association of Ghana, and he's an assistant trainer at the Charles Korte Boxing Foundation. And then Charles Jojo Efsin, he's a journalist, and he's the communication and administrative officer of the Ghana Boxing Federation. Guys, we wish you the very best ahead of this weekend. I'm sure everything will come off smoothly without incident, and we'll be back here to review, and then we have a larger conversation on amateur boxing. Guys, thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, that's how we wrap it up this morning on the Sporty Breakfast. My name is Nathan Kwao. I had great support from my production team. Immortal Kwame Jakwe Champon, Angela Mensah, Abigail Sena Susu, and Anekwe Amankwa. Many shouts to my DJ Fidelis. Many shouts to the supporting cast, Nana Kwame Labi and co. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is Sporty 106.1 FM. Keep your dials locked here. We are the voice of sport. There's the news at midday, Sporty Plug at 12:30, Sporty Drive at 4. And we have amazing content for you all through the weekend. There's a live commentary of that game involving Kotoko and Wydad on Sunday. So be on the lookout for that and all the supporting programs, the podcast and everything. We'll catch you later. Enjoy your day. This has been the Sporty Breakfast. Keep your dials locked on Sporty 106.1 FM.